In a dense forest in the east, two black swans nestled closely together under the lotus pond. Suddenly, a loud shout startled them. "Damn it, I've actually reincarnated." His hands trembled, his face was wrinkled and aged, and his hair was completely white. He opened his mouth wide in shock, revealing only a few remaining teeth, the rest nearly gone. In terror, he thought, how did I become like this? Just a moment ago, I was dozing off in math class. He recalled his appearance in the classroom. He raised his hand to touch his wrinkled face and cried out angrily, "Oh my God! I'm a 185 centimeters tall man, never had a girlfriend, and was just about to embrace a beautiful college life. How did I wake up as an old man?" He blankly touched his forehead with two fingers and said, "I'm not willing to accept this. If I really transmigrated, then this old man must be some kind of supreme expert. I need to check his memories." This was the Kunlun realm, where cultivators were supreme. Cultivation levels were divided into Qi refining, foundation establishment, golden core, nascent soul, soul formation, unity, great ascension, tribulation crossing, and true immortal. The original owner of the body was Yi Junlin, a man of outstanding talent. He had reached the golden core stage in his youth, and with his exceptional aptitude, he was chosen as the peak master of Misty Peak in the Shantian sect, one of the 6 major sects in the eastern region of Huangzhou. However, during a mission to eradicate demonic cultivators, he was ambushed, his dantian destroyed, causing him to lose all his cultivation and become a cripple. Over the next 10 years, he grew sluggish and lived a reclusive life in the mountains, indifferent to worldly affairs, until he turned 110. After absorbing the original owner's memories, he was left speechless. "After all that, I'm just an ordinary person." Tears welled up in his eyes as he said, "And if I go by my previous age, doesn't that mean I could die at any moment? I just transmigrated." Suddenly, a thought struck him, "Wait a minute. Based on my years of writing web novels, if I transmigrated, there must be a system." After saying this, he confidently stroked his beard and said, "I still have a chance." He forcefully struck the ground with his stick, raised his hand, and shouted loudly, "System! Your father is here. Hurry up and come out to meet me." The surroundings remained silent, nothing happened. He shouted even louder, "Are you playing hide and seek with me? Come out now. Stop messing around." Left with no choice, he clasped his hands together and pleaded, "Brother System, I was wrong. I was just joking earlier. Please say something." Another thought came to him, "Right." He rummaged through the original owner's clothes and said, "Maybe the system isn't stored somewhere. Perhaps it's the old man's ring. Let me take advantage of an old man for once." He picked up the ring and shouted, "Medicine Elder. Are you in there?" The ring remained completely silent. He anxiously yelled, "Old man. Stop pretending, I know you're hiding inside." Disappointed to the extreme, he threw the ring away. After some time, he furiously raised his stick toward the sky and cursed, "Heavens!" Suddenly, a blue light flashed, and a voice sounded, detected that the host is cursing. Such behavior is inappropriate. The system is forced to activate passive mode. Host, please refrain from cursing. Please be a civilized person. He exclaimed in shock, "System." He looked up at the system with tears streaming down his face. "You finally appeared. Why are you so unreliable? I was starting to think this novel had turned into a mundane slice-of-life story." "System, apologies. I was in a deep sleep earlier and just woke up. To make up for it, I'm giving the host a newbie gift pack. Would you like to open it?" He angrily said, "Hurry up and open it for me." System notification, "Congratulations, host. You have acquired a special ability, the stronger the opponent, the stronger you become. As long as the host confronts anyone with a higher cultivation level, you will instantly gain cultivation one level higher than your opponent. Additionally, there are no side effects. He widened his eyes and thought, damn, is this really the case? For example, if I became an ordinary person and had to fight an immortal. Seeing that he didn't believe it, the system said, this system never lies. Try it out, I guarantee there's no problem. Seeing this, he was overjoyed. But if this is really the case, doesn't that mean I'm invincible? I'll always be one level higher than my opponents. Cultivation. Cultivate my ass. The system kindly reminded him again, contractor, you have only 1 hour left before your life ends. Carrying the original owner's aging body, he wanted to go down the mountain. No way. Am I really dying soon? I have to hurry down the mountain, find someone, and pretend to collide with them to gain cultivation and extend my life. He struggled down the mountain, panting as he spoke, great, so you're saying the heavenly demon is waiting up there? Now look at the trouble you've caused me. The system reminded, contractor has 35 minutes of life remaining. Death is approaching. He replied impatiently, stop rushing me. You make it sound like a funeral. My old bones probably won't make it in time. Suddenly, the sky darkened, and thunder roared. What's going on? Are those dark creatures demon beasts? A group of people rushed over from nowhere. A man in white clothing shouted aggressively, how dare you? Which demon dares to provoke our Shantian sect? It turned out he was the sect master of Shantian sect, Su Yonyan. A monstrous giant eagle cursed at the group. Shameless scum of Shantian sect. You never expected this demon king to still be alive. Today, I will kill you all. The man in white pointed at the giant eagle and said, so it's you, you beast. At the beginning of the year, you massacred the Thunder Nation, and I gravely wounded you. I knocked you down a 10,000-foot cliff, yet you survived and now dare to seek revenge, bringing these beasts with you. The monstrous giant eagle soared into the sky, released a surge of power, and laughed smugly. Is this enough for you? The people were all panicked, their faces tense. What? It actually broke through to the nascent soul stage. A man in brown clothing asked Su Yonyan, sect master, what should we do? We're no match for a nascent soul cultivator. His expression changed, and he turned around, shouting loudly, even so, we can't just stand by and do nothing. They decided to fight to the death. At this point, we can only give it our all and protect Shantian sect. They charged together, led by Su Yonyan. The monstrous giant eagle also commanded its followers to attack. All of you, wipe out these stinking Taoists for me. A fierce battle erupted between the two sides. He stood on the sidelines, his body weak. The original owner's body trembled as he said, hey! Someone hit me. Quick, hit me. The system displayed, contractor has 20 minutes of life remaining. Please take immediate action to save yourself. He was so scared that sweat covered his forehead, and he weakly reached forward. No way, how is reincarnation coming this fast? They're too far away to hear me at all. He dragged his weak body forward step by step. It's too late to go down the mountain now. This is my only option. The monstrous giant eagle looked at the group with disdain and sneered, humph, too weak. If this is all your strength, today will be your doomsday. I'll show you how powerful the nascent soul stage is. It released a massive surge of power from high above. The Taoists were all injured, falling to the ground and groaning in pain while clutching their wounds. At this moment, Su Yonyan finally realized the huge gap between the golden core stage and the nascent soul stage. The monstrous giant eagle laughed smugly. Who else dares to resist? Just sit there and wait for death. It heard a voice from the distance. It was him trying to attract its attention. Hey, stupid bird. Come here. Stop looking around, I'm talking to you. The bird went mad with rage and cursed, "You old bastard. Do you have a death wish? How dare you insult me?" He kept provoking it with a loudspeaker, "Stupid bird. If you're not convinced, come fight me. I'm standing right here. If you don't come over, that makes you my grandson." He thought to himself, "Good thing I noticed in time. I remember from the original hosts' memories that there's a loudspeaker at home. As long as I power it with a spirit stone, it works. Otherwise, I'd be doomed." The bird, fuming with anger, charged forward, muttering, "In my entire life, I've never met someone this arrogant. Ha! No, I was wrong. Today, I've finally met one." It seemed Su Yonyan recognized the original host. He realized it was junior brother Yi. One of the women among them also exclaimed, "Oh my God! Is that the once legendary floating peak?" Another Taoist said, "He's been out of the martial world for decades. Why has he suddenly appeared here?" The sect master of Su Yonyan thought, "He probably wants to make himself useful. Too bad he was ambushed and had his cultivation crippled back then, turning into a useless man. And now, he dares to mock King Chen. Isn't he just asking for death?" The bird sneered at him, "Ha ha ha. So you're just a washed-up old man from decades ago." He was too exhausted, so he could only provoke it further, "Grandson. I don't even need cultivation to kill you and turn you into roast chicken. If you dare to come, then come and die." He was sweating profusely. Why is this stupid bird still yapping? If it doesn't attack me, I'm dead for sure. As only a few seconds remained, he desperately shouted, "Help. Hurry up, hurry up." The bird unleashed a spell and declared, "Since you're so eager to die, I shall turn you into ashes." He was overjoyed, finally. "It's coming." System prompt **** detected that the contract holder is being attacked by an early-stage nascent soul enemy. Now activating. Effect: the stronger the enemy, the stronger you become. Obtaining mid-stage nascent soul cultivation. A red glow surrounded him like flames. He asked the system, "Is this the nascent soul stage?" The system replied, "Of course, this system is highly professional." The bird's aura clashed with his, causing a massive explosion. The bird was dumbfounded, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The Su Yonyan Taoists discussed, "What kind of terrifying aura is this? Is junior brother Yi still alive?" At this moment, an awe-inspiring scene unfolded before everyone's eyes, accompanied by the overwhelming power of the nascent soul realm. He stretched out his hand to feel it, thinking to himself, "So this is the power of the nascent soul stage. No wonder it's considered one of the strongest techniques in the human realm, truly terrifying." The bird, now panicked and stammering, asked, "Why you are also at the nascent soul stage? Your cultivation is even higher than mine." The Taoists were in utter shock and exclaimed, "How is this possible? Junior brother Yi is actually a nascent soul expert. So all these years, he's been hiding his strength. He looks like an ordinary mortal, but in reality, he has already broken through to the nascent soul realm. Junior brother Yi, you're a fraud." Everyone was astonished by his newfound power. Su Tieshue choked up, "Junior brother Yi actually." While Zhao Dezhu looked utterly incredulous and shouted, "That's the nascent soul realm. No one in the wild continent has ever reached it, and yet, our Xiantian sect has produced one." At this point, the eagle demon was no longer as arrogant as before. Seeing his overwhelming power, it realized it was no match and humbly clasped its hands together, pleading, "Fellow Taoist, it was all just a misunderstanding. Earlier, I have decided not to be enemies with your sect. In the future, I will even visit as a guest." Just then, system prompt ***, congratulations to the contract holder for obtaining cultivation for the first time. Rewarding a divine ability, randomly selected, great light candle heaven finger. Upon hearing this, the eagle demon shuddered in terror, realizing there was no way to negotiate its way out. It made one last attempt to reason, your cultivation may be slightly stronger than mine, but the gap isn't that wide. Do you really want to fight me to the death? Di Junlin had already made up his mind to fight to the end. He angrily pointed at its face and said, if you don't offend me, I won't offend you. But if anyone offends me, I will definitely take revenge. Moreover, you have committed many crimes in the mortal world, so punishment is inevitable. Not to mention you. A monster like you, who has killed so many humans, doesn't deserve to be pitied even in death. The monster was burning with rage and had no intention of tolerating him any longer. It spread its wings, displaying immense power. You wretch! You forced me to do this. Determined to fight to the death, it declared, even if I burn up all my inner cores, I will drag you down with me. He showed no fear and sneered, ignorant fool. At that moment, he had already disappeared, leaving behind only a loud explosion and a terrifying force suddenly erupting. The monster screamed in fear, its eyes widened, and its mouth formed an O shape as it watched the massive power unfold. Seeing death approaching, the monster decided to use a trick and negotiate with him. This is. Stop. Wait a moment, Di Junlin. I'll give you my wife, and I'll abandon my clansmen as well. I beg you. I just entered the nascent soul stage, I don't want to die yet. He completely ignored its words and launched an attack, sending it straight to the underworld. His immense power caused an explosion, shattering and scattering the surrounding land and rocks. Then, a great fire erupted, and thick smoke filled the air. Seeing that their king was dead, the remaining monsters were terrified and hurriedly fled. As they fled, they shouted, "The king is dead. We must run." However, how could Di Junlin let them escape so easily? Trying to run. With a wave of his hand, everything was completely incinerated. His power was truly terrifying, no one could escape from him. After finishing everything, he flew to the sect master and said softly, "These filthy birds will never bother." Tianxian sect again. Su Yumian let out a sigh of relief, "Junior brother D. This time, we really owe you." Seeing him, the third senior brother hurriedly clasped his fists and apologized, "I apologize. I thought you were completely crippled before, but I didn't expect you to have broken through to the nascent soul stage." The peak master of Tianxiang Peak, Su Tieshue, interrupted him and said, "What nonsense. Look at junior brother D's demeanor, how could he have ever been crippled?" The peak master of Cangjin Peak, Zhao Dezhu, added, "That's right. Junior brother D is humble, so he doesn't flaunt himself and instead silently protects the sect." They quickly praised him without any doubt, which made Di Junlin breathe a sigh of relief. He thought to himself, "This guy has quite the imagination. But that's fine, it saves me the trouble of explaining." Just as they had overcome a crisis and were feeling relieved, someone suddenly rushed in and shouted anxiously, "Report to the sect master. A major disaster has occurred. 2 disciples, covered in injuries, stumbled in, one barely able to stand. In a panic, they said, the Fenglai sect suddenly attacked to seize our sect's spiritual mines and spirit veins. The disciples guarding the mines suffered a tragic fate." This news shocked everyone, especially the sect master, Su Yumian, who could hardly believe his ears. His anger surged, "How is that possible? Doesn't Fenglai sect usually have a good relationship with us? How could they dare to act so boldly this time?" Su Yumian was deeply concerned. The spirit veins and mines are crucial to Tianxian sect. Without them for cultivation, it would be like cutting off our path to immortality. This will push us to the brink of destruction. After saying this, he turned to Di Junlin. "Junior brother D. I am preparing to lead the disciples to reclaim our resources. Would you be willing to help? He frowned and pondered. Fomlay sect is one of the 6 great sects of the wasteland region. Although there have been many conflicts in the past, they were always kept within a certain limit. But now, they are taking this opportunity to invade. It's clear that they are secretly using the power of the demon race. Truly despicable. Suddenly, a system notification sounded. Ding. Sign-in mission activated. Please sign in at Fomlay sect, and the system will provide the sign-in host with an unexpected reward. Upon receiving the notification, Di Junlin was overjoyed. Oh, another mission. If I encounter strong opponents, I can just wipe them out in their own territory. After thinking for a moment, he said to everyone, all right. You all continue with your tasks. I will head directly to Fomlay sect, eradicate the enemies, and eliminate this threat for everyone. The third senior brother ran over in surprise, looking at him with admiration. Impressive. Junior brother D, you're truly amazing. To avoid wasting time, Yi Junlin immediately set off to fly toward Fomlay sect. Before leaving, he urged. Everyone, do your best. I'm leaving now. The others looked up at him as he swiftly departed. Their hearts filled with mixed emotions. Hu Yumian pondered, how many years has it been? Tianqian sect has actually become this powerful. Zhao Dezhu responded, Sect Master, when have we ever been this strong? With peak Master Yi, we will be able to become a top-ranked sect in the wasteland region. The scene shifts to the entrance of Fomlay sect's grand hall. Inside the hall, the disciples were happily discussing. A tall, bearded man said, I never expected things to go so smoothly. After sending the Demon King to Tianqian sect, we easily seized all of their spirit veins. Beside him, a disciple with a top-knot clenched his fists in excitement, envisioning a bright future. With this, we can become the #1 sect in the wasteland region. But, won't that Demon King seek revenge on us? The disciple standing in front of them scoffed, what are you afraid of? You don't know that today, Fomlay sect has invited an important figure from Wuhua sect. With him here, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. At this moment, the atmosphere in the main hall of Fomlay sect was grand and imposing. The sect master sat in the center, with the disciples gathered below. Sect master Chen Wenhai happily turned and said, Elder Mu, I heard that my son, Chen Qiao, has performed outstandingly at Wuhua sect and has even been accepted as a personal disciple by a grandmaster. Is this true? Elder Mu replied calmly, Sect Master Chen, I rushed here from Qingzhou precisely because of this matter. Your son has gained the favor of the Great Sun Honored One and has been taught supreme Taoist techniques. His future is limitless, and he is sure to achieve great things. Hearing this news, Chen Wenhai was overjoyed, his face filled with satisfaction. Wonderful. That means my son has a chance to become an immortal. His trusted aides were also happy for him and echoed, Sect Master, this is truly worth celebrating. Suddenly, Elder Mu took out a mysterious-looking box containing a top-grade infant transformation pill, which Chen Qiao had entrusted him to deliver to the sect master. Chen Wenhai was so shocked that he could barely speak. An infant transformation pill. The disciples below were also stunned. Congratulations, sect master. With this pill, you will surely break through and become a nascent soul cultivator. Chen Wenhai accepted his son's gift box and laughed heartily. Ha ha ha. My son is truly thoughtful. Today is a double blessing. Then he remembered the matter of the Demon King and respectfully asked, by the way, Elder Mu, about the Demon King. Elder Mu understood what the sect master was implying and reassured him, rest assured, there's no need for concern. I will take care of it for you. Chen Wenhai clasped his hands together in gratitude. Thank you. That's excellent news. You have worked hard. If it weren't for Elder Mu revealing the Demon King's cultivation level, our sect's resources would have been taken by Tianxian sect. Just as everyone was celebrating, there was a sudden loud boom from outside, followed by a cloud of smoke. Everyone in the hall was startled. Someone has broken through the formation and entered. Seeing his formation destroyed, Chen Wenhai was furious and shouted, "Who is it? Do you have a death wish? How dare you intrude into my Fenglei sect's grand hall?" Yi Junlin sneered and walked in with an aura of absolute confidence, crossing his arms and saying, "I am Yi Junlin. I have come here to kill all of you from Fenglei sect." The disciples of Fenglei sect gasped in shock. That aura. Nascent soul stage. The moment he stepped into the grand hall, the system notification sounded, "You have arrived at the Fenglei sect sign-in location. Congratulations. Host, for obtaining the heavenly void technique of the human king. He happily accepted it. Another familiar technique. This is great. At this moment, Chen Wenhai still hadn't recognized who he was or understood why he was being targeted. He thought to himself, this person is a nascent soul cultivator. When did our sect offend such a person? But, why does his name sound familiar? Despite his doubts, he cautiously asked, "Fellow Taoist, what brings you to my Fenglei sect?" Seeing that he still didn't recognize him, Yi Junlin coldly stared at him. Playing dumb? Didn't you hear my name clearly? I am Yi Junlin, the sect master of Tianxian sect's Misty Peak. You people colluded with the demon king and invaded my sect's territory, an unforgivable crime. Today, Fenglei sect is doomed to perish. After hearing this, Chen Wenhai finally realized who he was and exclaimed in shock, "Yi Junlin? So it's you. Weren't you ambushed and left crippled? How could you have reached the nascent soul stage?" He secretly speculated, if Yi Junlin is here, it means the Demon King has already been slain. Tianxian sect truly hides its strength well. After speaking, he turned around and pointed at Yi Junlin, addressing Elder Mu. "Elder Mu. What do you think of this situation?" He assumed that with Elder Mu present, even a nascent soul cultivator would be nothing more than an egg hitting a rock. At this moment, Elder Mu still hadn't realized Yi Junlin's true strength. He arrogantly commanded, "Boy, kneel down and cut off both your arms, and I'll spare your life. Hurry up before I change my mind." Thinking that Yi Junlin would be terrified and obey, Elder Mu was shocked when Yi Junlin merely dug his finger into his ear with disdain and sneered, "This old man thinks he's someone important. He actually expects me to show him respect." Yi Junlin's words completely enraged Elder Mu. He leaped from his chair and unleashed his power. Such arrogance. The aura he released was incomparably powerful. The disciples of Fenglei sect were astonished and exclaimed, "Soul formation stage. The pressure is terrifying." But Chen Wenhai still had full confidence and declared, with a soul formation expert here, that Yi Junlin from Tianxian sect is dead for sure. He continued to provoke arrogantly, "Yi Junlin, I failed to take your life back then, but today, you won't escape. Once you're dead, with Shantian sect having no one to rely on, I can easily take control. Kneel down and beg Elder Mu for mercy, and maybe you'll keep your corpse intact." Hearing these words, Yi Junlin erupted with power, clenching his teeth in anger, his eyes filled with hatred. Nascent soul stage. Good, very good. Meanwhile, at Shantian sect's spiritual veins, Su Yonyan, Su Tianxue, and Zhao Dezhu led their people there. Many Shantian sect disciples had already been defeated and were lying on the ground. One of them knelt and reported. Upon hearing his subordinate's words, Su Yonyan shouted in shock, "What? A Wuhua sect elder is actually at Fenglei sect?" The reporting subordinate smirked and looked up with a sly grin. "Heh heh. Did you really think we'd dare to openly invade your Xiantian sect without the protection of Wuhua sect. This time, the elder came to Fenglei sect because Chu Tongzhu joined Wuhua sect years ago. Due to his outstanding talent, he successfully advanced in cultivation, and Wuhua sect values him greatly. He stabbed his sword into the ground, barely managing to stand, and laughed wildly while pointing at Su Yonyan's face. Ha! I don't know how. You dealt with that beast, but I advise you to stop now. Maybe you'll still have a chance to survive and become slaves for Fenglei sect. Seeing his arrogant posture and contemptuous tone, Su Yonyan swiftly drew his sword and slashed down. A head flew into the air, and everyone watched the scene clearly. Su Yonyan turned and said, "There's no time left, we must hurry to Fenglei sect to rescue Lord Yifeng." As soon as Su Yonyan finished speaking, the three of them used teleportation and quickly headed to Fenglei sect for reinforcements. Su Tianxue spoke, "Perhaps Lord Yifeng can handle Wuhua sect." Zhao Dezhu followed anxiously and said, "Impossible. A Wuhua sect elder is at least at the nascent soul stage. Facing him, even a chi refinement cultivator is like an egg hitting a rock." Su Yonyan gritted his teeth, flying through the air as he said, "Even if it costs me my life, I must beg Wuhua sect to spare Lord Yifeng. He is the hope of our Xiantian sect." Hearing this, all the Xiantian sect cultivators united and followed Su Yonyan toward Fenglei sect. Su Yonyan continued, "Junior brother, don't do anything reckless." Meanwhile, inside Fenglei sect's grand hall, Yi Junlin was eagerly preparing for Elder Mu to make a move. His system had already granted him the special skill, growing stronger when facing stronger opponents, meaning that when facing enemies with higher cultivation than his, Yi Junlin could directly increase his cultivation level and rank. So, he deliberately displayed an irritating smirk, provoking Elder Mu into attacking first. Outside, Chen Wenhai and the other cultivators pointed at Yi Junlin and laughed. He's about to die, yet he still dares to laugh. Hee hee. This brat must be scared stiff by Elder Mu's nascent soul pressure. With his strength, he's not even worthy to carry Elder Mu's shoes. The Wuhua sect elder stood high above, looking down at Yi Junlin, and said, "A mere cultivator from a desolate wasteland like arid state dares to be arrogant before me? Your Xiantian sect is nothing more than an anthill, something Wuhua sect could erase at any time. You're just a weed, utterly insignificant." Every word from Elder Mu was filled with disdain. His tone exuding arrogance, as if he saw himself as invincible, yet, in reality, he was inviting humiliation. The Wuhua sect elder continued his act, clenching his fists and staring directly at Yi Junlin as he shouted, "But since you've angered me, even if you kneel and beg for forgiveness now and agree to be my dog, I will still wipe out your entire Xiantian sect." Yi Junlin stood below, pointing at him with a look of disdain, saying, come on. Hurry up and kill me already, stop wasting time." Hearing this, the Wuhua sect elder's blood pressure soared in fury. Yi Junlin was completely unfazed by Elder Mu's threats. Calmly, he stretched out his hand, curled his fingers, and activated the power within his body. Preparing for battle. He continued, "Nascent soul stage. So what? If you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. Whoever backs down is a coward." The Wuhua sect elder could no longer hold back. He leaped forward, forming a massive palm, his furious expression charging straight at Yi Junlin. "You're asking for death." Yi Junlin had long been waiting for this moment. It was finally time for the showdown. Watching from outside, Chen Wenhai chuckled and thought to himself, Yi Junlin is dead for sure. Xiantian sect will soon be ours. A nascent soul stage attack isn't a joke, it's completely beyond the level of a chi refinement cultivator. The attack unleashed a powerful aura that left everyone present in awe. At that moment, just as expected, the system sounded, ding. Host is being attacked by a late-stage nascent soul. Enemy. Passive effect, growing stronger when facing stronger opponents activated. Host has achieved peak nascent. Soul cultivation. Now, no one in the Fenglai sect hall could stand against Yi Junlin. His eyes shone with insight, revealing a profound understanding of life. At this moment, Yi Junlin had reached peak nascent soul. Yi Junlin stood upright, facing the Wuhua sect elder's attack with his arms crossed, feeling the power flowing through his body. At this moment, Yi Junlin created an orange protective barrier around himself, easily avoiding Elder Mu's attack. He pointed at Elder Mu's face and mocked, "Is this all the nascent soul stage can do?" The Wuhua sect elder was dumbfounded, his mouth wide open in shock, frozen in place. "What's going on? You're actually at the nascent soul stage." The Wuhua sect elder's attack missed Yi Junlin entirely. Enraged, he roared, "Impossible. A mere Shantian sect actually hit a powerful nascent soul expert. How could a desolate place like Arid State have someone who reached the nascent soul stage, let alone peak nascent soul?" Standing beside him, Chen Wenhai added, "Shantian sect is truly disgusting, hiding such a trump card." The Fenglai sect cultivators were also stunned, trembling as they said, "In Arid State, even a chi refinement cultivator can establish a sect and sustain it for 1,000 years. There has never been a nascent soul cultivator before. And this young brat has already reached peak nascent soul, how is that possible?" Chen Wenhai immediately ran to Elder Mu's side, anxiously saying, "Elder Mu, what do we do now? We must save Fenglai sect." The Wuhua sect elder raised his hand, signaling Chen Wenhai to stop talking. "Don't panic. Don't forget, I come from Wuhua sect in Qingzhou. I wield immortal techniques beyond his imagination." Hearing this, Yi Junlin became even more excited. With a mocking smirk, he raised his middle finger and laughed, "Old man, do you really think your techniques are stronger than mine?" A surge of purple energy spread from a single point and quickly took shape. The elder of Wuhua sect raised 2 fingers and brought them together, widening his eyes as he raised his hand. "Ridiculous. The techniques of your small sects are worlds apart from those of Wuhua sect." A mysterious purple aura emanated as Elder Mu stepped on a green crystal slab, moving while channeling his energy. "Let me broaden your horizons and show you the divine abilities of a mid-tier sect." A series of enormous arms formed from the purple energy, each with sharp claws, swiftly attacking Xia Junlin from multiple directions. The elder of Wuhua sect shouted, "Tai Greenwood Palm." The cultivators of Fenglai sect witnessed the move firsthand and couldn't help but exclaim in shock, as expected of Wuhua sect. They use mid-tier techniques right from the start. Mortal, spirit, profound, heaven, and supreme tiers, here. In the wildlands, even a spirit tier technique is considered a sect's treasured art. The gap is truly vast. The elder of Wuhua sect stood in place, executing his technique while grinning. "Boy, to die at the hands of this old man is an honor for a lowly sect cultivator like you." Xie Junlin watched Elder Mu's attack without a hint of fear, remaining calm as he prepared to counter. He formed a small sphere between his 2 fingers and scoffed, "This is nothing but a cheap trick. How dare you wave your sword in front of me?" With that, Xie Junlin shouted, "Human King Seal." A surge of energy wrapped around his arm. As he sensed this spiritual power, he raised his hand, forming a massive golden palm. Not only that, but Xie Junlin also summoned a colossal red figure. Just by looking at it, everyone could already guess the outcome of the battle. Chen Yunhai and the nearby lower-tier cultivators looked up with wide eyes, exclaiming in shock, this. What is this? What tier of technique is this? Heaven tier? Supreme tier? No, it's beyond that." With a confident expression, Xie Junlin raised his hand from above and decisively declared, "Seal the mystical heavens." The massive artificial palm followed Xie Junlin's movements, pressing down toward Elder Mu with immense force. The Elder of Wuhua sect hadn't even reacted yet, his mouth hung open in disbelief, his body trembling, unable to look directly at the incoming strike. The gigantic palm showed no mercy as it descended. Elder Mu struggled to counterattack, but it was completely ineffective. Elder Mu shouted, "Damn it!" He had no way to resist as the palm pressed closer. Trembling, he extended both hands in a desperate plea. "Stop, stop. For the sake of Wuhua sect, I beg the senior to spare me." Xie Junlin sneered. "Wuhua sect? So what? If people do not offend me, I will not offend them. But if they do, I will punish them. If they dare to come, I dare to destroy them." With that, Xie Junlin showed no intention of stopping. The enormous palm continued to descend. Elder Mu was utterly terrified, his eyes widening, sweat dripping down his face. "If I die here, your sect will be doomed to annihilation, and you will be the cause. The consequences will be even more tragic." Hearing this, Xie Junlin raised his hand and swiftly swung it down. "Ha! You're about to die, yet you still dare to threaten me. Die!" As soon as his words fell, the colossal palm came crashing down, slamming toward Elder Mu with unstoppable force. Watching from the sidelines, Chen Yunhai was completely stunned, unable to utter a single word. Realizing that there was no hope of defeating Xie Junlin, he immediately fell to his knees, kowtowing repeatedly. "Lord Xie, this was all a misunderstanding. Our Fenglai sect is willing to submit and serve you." Many of the lower-tier cultivators of Fenglai sect also knelt, bowing fervently. "Yes, yes. We are willing to serve Lord Xie, to be your loyal servants." Xie Junlin looked down at them and laughed mockingly. "Ha! Do you think you're even worthy of being my dogs?" Hearing Xie Junlin's words, Chen Yunhai hesitated slightly before gritting his teeth and saying, "Lord Xie, my son Chen Jiao possesses the potential to ascend to immortality. He has already been accepted as a direct disciple of Wuhua sect's honored elders. Do you really want to offend us? Don't ruin your own future." Upon hearing this, Xie Junlin displayed a cunning and ruthless grin, sneering. "Oh. The potential to ascend to immortality?" Xie Junlin stretched out his hand and continued, "That suits me just fine. My stance remains the same, if you offend me, you will be punished. Today, Fenglai sect invaded Xiantian sect. I've said it before. None of you are leaving here alive." With that, Xie Junlin commanded the massive spiritual energy figure to mercilessly strike the cultivators of Fenglai sect. The overwhelming power was monstrous, effortlessly reducing Fenglai sect's grand hall to ruins in an instant. Amidst the destruction, Chen Yunhai continued to shout, "This humiliation must be repaid with blood. My son will avenge us 1,000, no, 10,000 times over." A small box fell to the ground from somewhere. Standing before the ruins, Xie Junlin said, "Then I'll be looking forward to your so-called immortal son coming to teach me a thing or two." Just then, Xie Junlin looked up at the sky and saw a group of people flying toward him. He smirked and said, "Humph. Is that Su Yonyan? It seems the people from Xiantian sect are really slow. Although I'm still safe, if they couldn't fight back, they must be regretting it by now. The battle is already over, and only now do they arrive." Su Yonyan, Su Tianxue, and Zhao Dezhu landed on the ground. Su Yonyan immediately spoke, "Great. Junior brother Xie is still here." Xie Junlin looked up and replied, "Yeah. Where else would I be? Didn't I say I was going to wipe out Fenglai sect?" Su Yonyan instantly grabbed Xie Junlin's wrist. Unaware that the people of Wuhua sect had already been wiped out, Su Yonyan pulled Xie Junlin along, trying to escape while saying, "You're lucky. I heard an elder from Wuhua sect arrived. Maybe he wasn't here, and that's the only reason you were able to escape." This time, Xie Junlin looked at Su Yonyan, still puzzled. Su Yonyan continued, "If we go now, we might still have time." Xie Junlin pulled his hand back and waved at Su Yonyan. "Oh. You mean that elder? I already killed him." Su Yonyan was shocked and shouted, "What? You actually eliminated the elder of Wuhua sect? Wasn't he a nascent soul stage cultivator?" Su Jianxue, standing to the side, chuckled and said, "See? I told you. Sect Master Xie has extraordinary strength and can handle it with ease." He placed a hand on Su Yonyan's shoulder. Still in disbelief, Su Yonyan continued, How is this possible? Junior brother. Xie actually defeated a nascent soul cultivator." Xie Junlin replied, "Actually, I'm also at the nascent soul stage." Enough talk. Let's go clean up Fenglei sect and gather some resources. Upon hearing this, Su Yonyan sneered as well. Xie Junlin stepped forward, and Su Yonyan watched his back, thinking to himself, so junior brother Xie is also at the nascent soul stage. I can hardly believe it. Meanwhile, Zhao Dezhu wandered around and spotted the box that had fallen earlier. He picked it up and said, "Sect Master. Lord Xie. I found a nascent soul pill. It might be a pill from Wuhua sect." Seeing it, Xie Junlin pointed toward Su Yonyan and said, "Let the sect master use this nascent soul pill. The sooner he breaks through, the stronger Xiantian sect will become." Hearing this, Zhao Dezhu handed the pill to Su Yonyan, who said, "Thank you, junior brother Xie, for your help." Suddenly, a system notification rang out, "Ding! A potential disciple has been detected within 100-mile radius. Suspected to be the demon sect leader, true immortal level. Would you like to accept them as a disciple? Completing this task will yield unimaginable rewards." Xie Junlin paused for a moment upon hearing this. He smiled and thought to himself, "Perfect. Another new task, and it's about taking in a disciple. And the target is the demon sect leader, a true immortal. If I go after him with my golden finger, wouldn't I ascend to immortality instantly? At that point, not just the wildlands but all of Qingzhou would be under my control." Sect Master Su Yonyan continued to watch junior brother Xie's back. Suddenly, Sect Master of Qianxiang sect, Su Tianxue of Feng Xiantian sect, spoke with concern, "Although we managed to destroy Fenglei sect thanks to Lord Xie, we've also made an enemy of Wuhua sect. Will there still be a place for us in the Eastern Domain and Xiantian sect?" Su Yonyan agreed and sighed, "That's right. Wuhua sect's power is immense, far beyond what Xiantian sect can oppose." Then, Su Yonyan called out to junior brother Xie, asking him to turn around. He walked up to Xie Junlin and said, "You possess unparalleled talent. You must not let your future be cut off from the Eastern Domain. If Wuhua sect comes looking for trouble in the future, at worst, we will die. As long as you survive, Xiantian sect will have a future." Sect Master of Qianxiang sect, Zhao Dezhu of Feng Xiantian sect, also agreed, clenching his fist. The sect master is right. Su Tianxue, standing nearby, smiled and nodded in agreement. Exactly. Lord Xie is an outstanding talent. If he leaves now, it would be a huge loss. The disciples of Xiantian sect also voiced their agreement, saying, "That's right. Lord Xie will surely carry our hopes and open up a whole new world, making the name of Xiantian sect resound across the land once more. No matter what happens, we will stand firm here. Even at the final moment, we will never back down. Lord Xie, please unleash your full potential." Lord Xie stood there in a daze, unsure of what to say. He smiled, feeling a little touched. This sect truly has an unparalleled sense of unity. Lord Xie walked up to the sect master, lowered his head, and placed a hand on his chest. Thank you all for your trust. But don't worry. Since I dared to act, I have already considered the consequences. Leave everything to me, I will handle it properly. Lord Xie smiled and patted the sect master on the shoulder to reassure him. Leave this matter to the sect master. Take your time handling it. I have something important to do, so I'll be taking my leave now. Farewell. As soon as he finished speaking, Lord Xie swiftly departed, stirring up dust in his wake. At that moment, Su Yonyan looked up at Xie Junlin's fading figure, filled with trust. Every time junior brother Xie slays his enemies, he simply flicks his sleeve and leaves, never taking so much as a wisp of cloud with him. At that moment, in the Su bamboo forest, a figure flashed by at an incredible speed. Behind him, an old man was chasing after him with a lecherous grin. He. Beauty, don't run. Let this old master have some fun. He turned around angrily and shouted, Get lost. How many times do I have to say this? I am a man. A man. The old man kept chasing pervertedly, sticking out his tongue. Such a beautiful girl, how could you possibly be a man? Stop trying to fool this old man. At that moment, he thought helplessly, a mighty tiger, fallen to flatlands, now bullied by a dog. To think I, the Grand Demon sect leader, once shook the entire central region. The fire-worshipping demon sect was founded by true immortals, possessing immense power, ruling over 100,000 nations, and worshipped by billions of followers. As he ran, tears streamed down his face. I never expected that my enemies would join forces with multiple sacred lands to launch a large-scale crusade against my fire-worshipping demon sect. I could only exhaust my essence power, risk my life to break through the encirclement, and escape to this desolate land. But who would have thought I'd end up in such a miserable situation now? The old man chased relentlessly, unleashing a technique to stop him. Beauty, if you don't run fast, I'll be catching you soon. Sensing the danger, he immediately turned around and executed a technique, Crimson Tide Barrier. After countering the old man's attack, he took the chance to escape. He stumbled into another bush, coughing uncontrollably as he got up. The old man saw this and showed a trace of doubt. A mere foundation establishment cultivator can actually withstand my late-stage golden core attack. Could he be a prodigy from a major sect out on a journey? Without hesitation, he unleashed another technique. No matter, I'll just capture him first. He threw a needle to the ground. The needle formed a formation around him. The old man floated in front of him, grinning wickedly. He. Beauty, this is the end of the road. Just surrender obediently. Seeing this, he gritted his teeth in anger. Damn mutt pretending to be righteous. The old man stepped forward, pinched his chin, and said, Beauty, stop resisting. My patience is limited, just endure it for a little while. Realizing there was no way out, he lowered his head. Then, he tore open his clothes and shouted, Your ancestors. Open your damn eyes and look carefully, I am a man. The old man was stunned. A man? The atmosphere suddenly became eerily silent. After a few seconds of shock, the old man blurted out, You're really a man? Then wasn't all my effort chasing you completely wasted? He pulled his clothes back together and furiously said, Look closely. I'm a man, just like you. Stop following me. Suddenly, the old man reached out his hand. Wait a minute. He struck a perverse pose and walked toward him. Actually, men aren't bad either. Hearing these disgusting words, he lashed out in fury. Get lost. You're truly shameless, going after men too. Even if I have to burn my own core, I will never submit. The old man was shocked. What kind of spell is this? How can a foundation establishment cultivator create such a massive formation? He angrily cursed, "Brat. You've completely enraged me." He struck at the old man with his palm, "Go to hell." The palm strike came too suddenly, and the old man didn't have time to react before shouting, "Wait. Wait. Let's talk this out." The old man was hit, and everything around him was shaken and scattered. Unable to endure, the old man let out a desperate scream, "Ah!" After making his move, he was also exhausted and collapsed to the ground, saying, "Humph. You brought this upon yourself." Watching the old man get struck, engulfed in flames, he said, "What bad luck. My inner core almost shattered. I need to find a place to recover quickly and come up with a plan." Suddenly, a voice rang out, "Hee hee. That lecher deserved to die. As expected, you have quite a background." Hearing this, he turned to look. Then, he stood up and cautiously asked, "Who's there?" Another old man approached, holding a cane, and appeared, "Young friend, don't overthink it. I just happened to pass by here. I'm not that lecher's accomplice. Also, I have a normal sexual orientation, so you can rest assured." Hearing this, he felt slightly relieved and cupped his fists, saying, "That's good. In that case, farewell, until we meet again." Just as he was about to leave, the old man suddenly stepped forward and blocked his way. The old man revealed a cunning smile and said, "However, I'm more interested in the secrets you carry than that man." As soon as he finished speaking, the old man attacked again, "Hee hee. Let me see what's hidden in your mind. That allows you to possess such powerful abilities." Seeing the old man's despicable expression, he thought to himself, "This bald old ghost, attacking when I'm vulnerable, he won't have a good outcome." He fell to his knees, supporting himself on the ground, and weakly said, "Is this where my cultivation journey ends? I refuse to accept it. I refuse." Suddenly, the bamboo forest shook, and another person arrived. His presence caused the surrounding world to tremble. The old man didn't have time to react before hurriedly turning his head, stunned. "This is the nascent soul stage. No way, how could a small place like this have a nascent soul powerhouse?" Yi Fu appeared, looking extremely angry, his brows furrowed as he stared at the old man. Seeing Yi Fu, the old man immediately scrambled to explain, "Senior. Please spare me. He's yours. I'll leave immediately." Yi Fu could not tolerate it and attacked, saying, "A vile person like you doesn't deserve to live." With that, he delivered a fatal blow, piercing through the old man's body. Witnessing Yi Fu's overwhelming strength, he gritted his teeth and thought, "I lost a golden core, and now a nascent soul cultivator has appeared. Is this truly the calamity I can't escape today?" Yi Fu stared blankly at the person in front of him and said, "Tongzi. Come on. Tell me, is this guy the demon sect leader or an immortal saint-level cultivator? Isn't he just a weak foundation establishment cultivator? Are you trying to fool a ghost?" Suddenly, the system reported, "The system did not deceive you. This person was indeed the demon sect leader of Heavenly God Mountain, but his cultivation has declined. The system has activated killing intent for the host." An information panel about him appeared. Yi Fu was stunned after reading it. "It's true, but wait a minute, this guy is actually a man." Yi Fan walked over and sized up Tian Yen, secretly evaluating, "Tisk tsk tsk. That fair skin, delicate features, and flowing long hair. How many girls would feel ashamed seeing this? Anyone would mistake him for a woman." Meanwhile, Hong Tianyen thought to himself, "Why is this guy looking at me like that? Could it be that he likes men?" At that moment, Yi Fan was still staring at Tianyen, rubbing his chin in thought, although he's only at the foundation establishment stage. With his talent and past experience, returning to his peak should be easier. Taking him as my disciple would definitely be worth it. Yi Fan proposed, I see that you have an extraordinary appearance and rare talent for cultivating the immortal Tao. From today on, I've decided to take you as my disciple. What do you think? Tianyan was stunned. What? You want to take me as your disciple? He pondered inwardly, is he after my secrets, wanting to explore further? Indeed, treasures and opportunities aren't something a nascent soul cultivator from a small place like this could even imagine. Then, Tianyan recalled how he had looked down on Yi Fan, his face full of calculations as he gazed at him. Humph. With your cultivation level, you wouldn't have even qualified to enter the outer sect of my fire. Worship demon sect before. Just a mere nascent soul stage, and you want to be my master. What a joke. Yi Junlin curled his lips into a slight smirk, sneering at Hong Tianyan, what's this? From the look on your face, it seems you're unwilling to be my disciple. As if understanding the hidden meaning behind those words, Tianyan's expression turned tense, and he took a half step back. Although he's unworthy of being my master, my current cultivation is too weak to resist. As long as the green hills remain, there will be firewood to burn. Once I regain my strength, I will take control. And when that time comes, I will repay this humiliation 1,000-fold. After thinking this through, he stood before Yi Junlin, cupped his fists, and knelt down. Disciple Hong Tianyan greets Master. It is the greatest honor of my life to join Master's sect. Though he spoke words of flattery, he was thinking, this is all just an act. Just playing along. His face twisted as he gritted his teeth. One day, I will definitely reclaim my dignity. His eyes were filled with hatred as he glared at Yi Junlin. Hearing this, Junlin gestured for him to rise and said seriously, Sigh. Get up, my disciple. From now on, I'll call you Little Hong. Little Hong. His vision darkened, and Hong Tianyan's hands trembled in anger as he stuttered, You understood. Master. Junlin looked at his expression and guessed his inner dissatisfaction, thinking, this brat is pretending so obviously, his fake act is so unconvincing, but it doesn't matter. As long as I encounter strong opponents, I will grow even stronger. Why should I fear betrayal? The system's voice rang out, ding. Congratulations to the contractee for completing the disciple task. Reward, Divine Ability Technique. Auto-cultivation mode activated. Congratulations, contractee, you have obtained the Heaven-Bearing Crown, which contains 108 seals. These will gradually unlock as the contractee's cultivation increases. Currently, it is at 3rd level spiritual energy. He thought to himself, oh. Auto-cultivation. So I can just lie down and get stronger. Based on my memories, all divine abilities follow a cultivation sequence, entry, minor achievement, major achievement, perfection, and transcendence. Each stage enhances its power and effects 10-fold or even 100-fold. The system's voice rang out again, revealing an object that looked like a coffin. The Heaven-Bearing Crown, capable of burying the heavens, of sealing all things. It can refine any living being, and in its later stages, it could even bury the entire universe. Ding! The system has detected the disciple contractee's potential. A free upgrade service is now available. The reward is the 3000 Flame Scripture, a top-tier fire cultivation method. The current task rewards have been distributed. Contractee, are you satisfied? Yi Junlin revealed a satisfied expression, thinking about the system's treasure reward. A system-gifted artifact, and it's said to be powerful enough to bury the Tao of Heaven. I'm really looking forward to seeing how strong this Heaven-Bearing Crown will become as my cultivation grows. This kind of reward is exactly the kind of treatment a transmigrated Huaxia person should receive from a system. Beside him, Hong Tianyan watched Yi Junlin's excitement with disgust. Clenching his fists, he thought, look At him, so smug after learning his disciple has such great talent. Just wait, I will have my revenge. Suddenly, Yi Junlin turned around and pointed mockingly at Hong Tianyan's face. Little Hong, calm down. You can't always be so moody and angry. Do you think I'm unworthy of being your master? Cold sweat broke out on Little Hong's forehead, and he quickly explained, Master, you misunderstand. This is just how I usually act. Though he spoke respectfully, deep down, she continued mocking Yi Junlin, just a measly nascent soul. Stage cultivator, yet he dares to be so arrogant. He wants to teach me how to behave. What a joke. Junlin pulled out a book wrapped in flames, gifted by the system. It seems if I don't show some skill, you won't submit. This technique is my gift to you as your master, study it well. Thank you, master. Hong Tianyan cupped his fists in gratitude, but when he lowered his head, his eyes flashed with disdain as he looked at the book. Ha! Let's see what kind of trash technique a nascent soul cultivator from the backwater wilderness has to offer. Yi Junlin placed the book in front of him and closed his eyes to sense it. The flames within the book resonated with him. The 3,000 flame scripture. What? Such a trashy technique dares to have such an impressive name. After a while, as if sensing something, he murmured, This is impossible. Unlike before, when he was full of contempt, this time his eyes were filled with shock. The reverse wrath-fire technique once helped me attain immortality. It was originally a top-tier fire technique in the central domain. But, compared to the 3,000 flame scripture, it's nothing but trash. Unable to withstand the heat, she closed one eye tightly, her mouth wide open. This scroll of 3,000 flame sutra completely overturns my understanding of fire-based cultivation techniques. It must be at the celestial level, or even the legendary saint level. Hong Yi immersed herself in the technique given by her master and said joyfully, with this technique, my strength will greatly improve beyond imagination. Returning to the true immortal realm is no longer enough for me. Seeing Xiao Hong's expression, Hong Yi smiled and said, judging by your expression, you must be very satisfied with the technique I've taught you, right? Xiao Hong turned her face away, forcing a smile. Thank you, master, for this technique. Your disciple has benefited greatly. However, in her heart, she looked down on Junlin. How lucky is this guy to have stumbled upon such an opportunity in this desolate place. Just as Xiao Hong was deep in thought, Junlin took out an auxiliary pill from his robe and handed it to her. Since you have already comprehended the technique, I will also gift you a fire essence pill to assist you. Upon seeing the pill, her expression turned to shock as she exclaimed, This is a fire essence pill. Are you really giving this to me? Junlin stood behind her, smiling, Oh. So you recognize this pill as well? Holding the pill, she thought to herself, for cultivators who specialize in fire techniques, the fire essence pill is nothing short of a divine gift. It greatly enhances cultivation and is even fought over by immortals. Having received such high-level items consecutively, Hong Yi glanced at Junlin, thinking, how could a mere nascent soul stage cultivator obtain both of these? Even in my prime, I couldn't accomplish such a feat. Seeing Xiao Hong's gaze, Junlin questioned, Xiao Hong, do you doubt the gifts I have given you? Xiao Hong was startled and quickly replied, Master, I would never. Becoming your disciple is the greatest fortune of my 3 lifetimes. However, she thought differently in her heart. Perhaps this guy has no idea how rare these techniques and pills are. He must have stumbled upon them in some ancient ruin. I need to stay calm. Observing Hong Ye's shifting expressions, Junlin sighed. What exactly is going on in this demonic cult leader's head? Her face keeps changing expressions, it's quite amusing. He then said, Take the pill, I will personally protect you while you refine it. Upon hearing this, Hong Yi quickly lowered her head and responded, yes. Thank you, master. Hong Yi immediately swallowed the pill. Sitting down to meditate, in an instant, wisps of green smoke rose from her head, and her snow-white skin turned as red as pottery. Her entire body seemed to be burning, undergoing a shocking transformation. Seeing Hong Ye's growing aura, Junlin thought, from the early to mid-foundation establishment, then late stage. Peak, perfection, core formation, and even early nascent soul. This kid is indeed a reincarnated true immortal. She broke through from foundation establishment to nascent soul in just half an hour, impressive. A true talent. Feeling the changes in her body, Hong Yi couldn't help but cry out, ah, ah. This cry released an overwhelming aura, shaking the entire bamboo forest. Incredible. Advancing through realms is this fast. When I return to the Central Plains, I will definitely avenge my past humiliations. Seeing her master's strange expression, she coughed a few times and said, did I just startle you, master? My apologies. Junlin waved his hand, saying, no problem. Come with me back to the sect, I'll introduce you to your martial uncles and elders. Yes. Returning to Xiantian's sect, the disciples were discussing how Lord Yifeng had slain a nascent soul cultivator. Lord Yifeng is amazing. He killed a nascent soul cultivator with just one finger and saved Xiantian's sect from destruction multiple times. One disciple sighed, sigh. It's such a shame I was blind back then and missed my chance to join Feimiao Peak. Otherwise, I would have been a disciple there by now. With Lord Yifeng's strength, his disciple recruitment standards must be incredibly high. I wonder who he will accept. While they were chatting, Junlin descended from the sky, exuding an imposing presence. A disciple shouted, look! Lord Yifeng has returned. All the disciples immediately focused their attention, but suddenly, their gazes were drawn to the woman walking behind him. Oh! Who is that woman following him? They were stunned by Hong Ye's beauty and started whispering among themselves. The male disciples admired her, she's gorgeous, while the female disciples seethed with jealousy, damn. Where did this woman come from? How is she so close to Lord Yifeng? Hong Yi wore a bright red robe, her skin as fair as snow, and her features exquisite. Her eyes revealed a trace of disdain as she looked at the group. This sect is pathetic. These people's cultivation levels are so low they wouldn't even qualify to carry the shoes of my demonic sect's disciples. Jiang Yonyan walked out of the great hall, glanced at Hong Yi, and quickly asked, Junior brother Yi. This time you returned. At that moment, Junlin cheerfully placed a hand on Hong Ye's shoulder and introduced her, this is the disciple I accepted on my journey. Xiao Hong, go greet the sect master. Everyone gasped, a disciple. The sect master was stunned, where did Lord Yifeng find such a beautiful disciple? The Peak Lord of Tianji Peak swayed her hips as she walked over, eager to meet Hong Yi. However, Hong Yi shot her a sharp glare, her voice cold as a blade, I am a man. As soon as she said that, Hong Yi released an overwhelming aura, forcing the Tianji Peak Lord to stumble back. Realizing something, she stuttered in shock, en nascent soul. Cold sweat dripped down her body as she trembled uncontrollably. Not letting Tianxi be too pleased, Junlin walked over, patted his head, and said, Xiao Hong. Don't be so rude. This is my senior sister, quickly apologize. Hong Tianxi quickly lowered his head. I'm sorry. It was disrespectful of me. But deep down, he was unconvinced and secretly resentful, just endure for now. Once I reach the nascent soul stage, I will definitely take revenge for this humiliation. Junlin stepped forward, happily raised his hand, and said, Kids are easy to teach. The introductions are over, I'll Take Xiao Hong to Feixiao Peak for some rest. The sect master replied, all right. You two master and disciple may go. Jun Lin and Hong Tianqi then flew toward Feixiao Peak. The sect master and the master of Tianji Peak exchanged sighs. Where did Jun Feng master find a disciple at the nascent soul stage? Truly unfathomable. Sigh. In less than a day, junior brother Jun has brought us so many unbelievable surprises. At Feixiao Peak, Jun Lin said, you are my first disciple, so feel free to choose any place on this peak, no need to be polite. Hong Tianqi looked at the rundown cave dwellings, his eyelid twitching. After a while, he finally said, thank you, master. Inside, he was burning with anger. What kind of dump is this? Even the servant disciples' quarters are 100 times more luxurious. And I actually have to live in this place. As Xiao Hong was still contemplating, Jun Lin spoke up, remember, only the weak complain about their environment. The strong learn to adapt. For cultivators, these external conditions are just trivial matters. It's a bit dirty. Just clean it up yourself. After saying that, he flew away. Hong Tianqi stood there, frozen, clenching his fists and suppressing the rage that was about to explode. No problem. I'll endure. At my current cultivation speed, I'll surpass him sooner or later. Jun Lin, just you wait. The scene shifts to Qingzhou's Wuhua sect. In the grand hall, a man sat leisurely in the center, while another knelt before him with his head lowered. That person held a token engraved with the name Elder Mu. A man in a golden Taoist robe emitted a terrifying aura. He was the Great Sun Venerable, a lineage elder of Wuhua sect. The kneeling man spoke, Master. It's all my fault for not handling things properly. It was the pill that I entrusted Elder Mu to deliver to my father. Elder Mu's death has made me very worried. I keep feeling that my father's sect might get implicated. So I wish to personally go to the desolate state to investigate. As he spoke, his brows furrowed tightly, his eyes filled with extreme fear and anxiety. This man was Chen Xiao, the young sect master of the Thunderstorm sect. The Great Sun Venerable spoke, Xiao. Do you know why I accepted you as my disciple? Because I have the sun physique, and my talent is enough to ascend to immortality. Chen Xiao replied, that is only one of the reasons. The second reason is that I saw great ambition in you. How could someone who craves power be bound by mere familial ties? As he finished speaking, the Great Sun Venerable's eyes flashed with a terrifying golden light, and he crushed the token in his hand. The competition among the lineage disciples is coming soon. You should start preparing. As long as you defeat the other lineage disciples and become number one, the sect will grant you even more resources. That is what truly matters. But no buts. That insignificant Thunderstorm sect, I will send people to the desolate state to investigate. You just focus on securing first place. Hearing this, Chen Xiao pressed his palms together and said, Understood, Master. I will not disappoint you. Back at Feixiao Peak, Jun Lin was sitting on a chair, basking in the sun. After a while, he called out, Xiao Hong. Are you ready? I can't wait any longer. He glanced back to see Hong Tianqi approaching with an unpleasant expression, carrying several skewers of roasted meat. It's ready, Master. I'm bringing it over now. As he walked, he thought to himself, always thinking about food. I really don't understand how a cultivator at the nascent soul stage can be so obsessed with such worldly desires. Yesterday, he was lecturing me about not complaining about my environment, and today he's indulging in food cravings. Jun Lin took 2 skewers of greasy roasted meat, eating while praising, this meat is great, and these beans are fantastic too. Wow! So delicious. The seasoning that Tongzi gave me makes the skewers amazing. Seeing Hong Tianqi standing there, Jun Lin handed him a skewer. Hey, Xiao Hong, have one too. Don't be shy. Upon witnessing this, Xiao Hong turned his face away and said, Master, I have long since abstained from eating. I no longer have any interest in the food of this world. Do you not take your master seriously? If cultivating immortality isn't like this, then what's the point of working so hard? Xiao Hong immediately said, Sorry, master. If you insist, then I'll just eat one skewer. Hong Tianai thought disdainfully, this Yi Junlin is really an anomaly in the cultivation world. What's so good about this lousy skewer of roasted meat? As she thought this, she put the meat into her mouth. The moment the meat entered her mouth, her eyes lit up. This taste. The flavor of the meat exploded in her mouth, stimulating her taste buds. Delicious. I've never tasted such happiness in my life. As she praised it, tears unknowingly rolled down her cheeks. Yi Junlin was eating on the side, looking at her with a tired expression. What's going on? Why is she crying? Hong Tianai was overwhelmed with emotions, smiling as she recalled memories from her childhood. When I was little, I was always hungry and dreamed of having just one bite of meat. The happiness of tasting meat for the first time was indescribable. But ever since I embarked on the path of cultivation, my heart has only been set on killing and pursuing the peak of martial arts. I never cared about the simple joys of life anymore. As he said, if cultivating immortality means giving up even the simplest desires, then what is the meaning of cultivation? A huge transformation took place in Hong Tianye's thoughts, and in an instant, her aura strengthened. Junlin was stunned, looking at Xiao Hong. Ah! Another breakthrough. Nascent soul, early stage, mid-stage, late stage, peak, perfected, a single thought. To soul transformation. My God! She just ate one skewer and her talent skyrocketed. This is beyond heaven-defying. Her eyes showed surprise for a moment before returning to calmness. After experiencing so much hardship, I can't be happy over such a trivial achievement. Yi Junlin cheerfully said, Xiao Hong, congratulations on reaching the soul transformation stage. I'm truly happy for you. As your master, your cultivation is almost catching up to mine. Hong Tianai narrowed her eyes at Junlin. I never expected to break through to soul transformation so quickly. Since that's the case, this ridiculous master-disciple relationship should come to an end. Before moving on to Chapter 6, I will provide an additional chapter as a supplement. But first, I must apologize for the gender errors in Chapter 5, which I will correct in this chapter. At this moment, on the summit of Shantian Sec's ethereal misty peak, Hong Tianai, at the early nascent soul stage, was wholeheartedly massaging Yi Junlin, who was at the mid-nascent soul stage. He smiled and said, Xiao Hong, your massage skills are getting better and better. She softly replied, Thank you for your praise, master. Though she said that, the young one was actually quite angry but could do nothing about it. Yi Junlin finished eating a slice of watermelon, then suddenly stood up and said, Today is a good day. Since you've been performing well recently, I'll take you to a very interesting place. Before Hong Tianai could react, he grabbed her little head and flew off at high speed. Beside him, her eyes shone as brightly as light bulbs, filled with curiosity. Master, is this good place somewhere I can obtain a massive opportunity? Before Hong Tianai could get an answer, another young man flew over and interrupted his question. Hey! You guys are going to that place too? A mere nascent soul cultivator dares to dream big in the desolate state. This newcomer was named Qin Jiao, and his cultivation was at the perfected soul transformation stage. The young one beside Hong Tianai became even more curious about the place they were heading to. They didn't notice Yi Junlin standing to the side with a sinister grin, thinking, oh, a perfected soul transformation expert. That's a pretty good experience pack. I was just worried about my low cultivation level. After that thought, he immediately pointed his middle finger at Chen Jiao and said, "Hey, kid, the path to that place is short on servants. You can be my little follower." Hearing this, Chen Jiao's eyes widened in rage. "Do you want to die? Come and eat." Just as he launched his attack, the system immediately activated. Ding. Host has encountered an attack from a perfected soul transformation. Enemy. Now activating passive effect, becoming stronger when facing powerful opponents. Acquiring early stage integration realm cultivation. Yi Junlin instantly summoned a massive Dao shadow and struck down the cultivator in front of him with one blow, reigning supreme over heaven, earth, and humanity. This guy is actually at the integration realm. Just how much power is he still hiding? I really underestimated him. At this moment, he grabbed Hong Tianai and flew away, saying, "No time to waste, we need to leave immediately. Even if you were once the leader of the demon sect and a true immortal cultivator, no one would take you seriously." Hearing this, the young one became even more curious and asked, "What? Could it be that this place is really a secret realm of immortal opportunities for big shots?" No more curiosity. Just watch, this is the moment your eyes will truly be opened. A few seconds later, the two of them had already stepped out of the teleportation array. As soon as their heads emerged, a voice rang out, "Heroes, please take your seats quickly. The 10th anniversary conference is about to begin. Please pay attention and watch carefully." Yi Junlin confidently introduced, "This is the initial world where I and these people belong. They are the rulers of their respective worlds. Xiaohong, if you follow me, you'll learn a lot." Hong Tianai looked around at the scene, hardly believing his eyes. He sighed, although this is not some kind of fortune-seeking secret realm, it is beyond my understanding. These people are all strong, some even beyond my comprehension. Yi Junlin, you are truly unfathomable. And so, Chapter 5 ended just like that. Let's move on to Chapter 6. Yi Junlin lazily sat in his chair, smugly rubbing his shoulder, and said, "Xiaohong, you've eaten the meat and you've leveled up. Come over and give me a shoulder massage." Hong Tianya's expression suddenly changed. Her eyes rolled back, and her face turned icy cold as she muttered under her breath, "That ye bastard. I've already reached the nascent soul stage, and you still dare to boss me around?" Yi Junlin hadn't sensed the danger yet and was still grinning widely. Hong Tianya's face twisted in anger as she raised her hand to strike, "Just a mere nascent soul cultivator, go to hell." But before she could act, someone rushed in and reported, "Leaf Lord, the sect master has summoned you to the main hall for an urgent discussion." Yi Junlin immediately sat up straight and calmly responded, "Oh. It's only been a day, and he's already come back to life." After saying that, he followed the messenger, leaving Hong Tianai standing there, gritting her teeth in anger. Her hands trembled as she thought to herself, "What? Such a golden opportunity was wasted just like that. But Yi Junlin, you have too many weaknesses, I will definitely have more chances." Before leaving, he made a dramatic leap, stirring up dust and smoke, and didn't forget to remind Hong Tianai. "Xiaohong, I'm leaving now. Your massage skills are great, make sure to give me a foot rub when I get back." The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. She looked up to the sky and roared, "This is infuriating. Do you really think I'm your servant?" She gritted her teeth in rage. "I should have struck decisively just now and crushed that shameless bastard." Meanwhile, in the Xiantian sect's council hall, a large group had already gathered. Everyone was discussing anxiously, what should we do? Their faces were tense, mixed with helpless sighs. "Sigh, it seems like the heavens want to destroy Xiantian sect." Just then, Yi Junlin arrived on his cloud. Seeing him, everyone respectfully called out, "Leaf Lord." Su Yonyan and his group warmly greeted him, Junior Brother Yi, you're here. The eyes of other sect members suddenly lit up as if they had seen hope. It's the Leaf Lord. With him here, everything will be fine. Yi Junlin asked concisely, everyone, what crisis has the sect encountered this time? Why is everyone making such a big fuss? Su Yonyan's face was tense. He crossed his arms and began, Junior brother, here's the situation. A few years ago, the Wei Kingdom, which is under Xiantian sect's protection, sent a distress letter. They reported that strange incidents were occurring nationwide, and people were mysteriously dying. The deaths are bizarre, all the corpses have had their blood drained. This phenomenon is becoming more severe in the Wei Kingdom. Some cities, even those with populations exceeding 1 million, have turned into horrifying graveyards full of corpses. His voice trembled as he spoke. Su Yonyan paused for a moment before continuing his analysis. I suspect it's the work of demonic creatures. I sent a group of disciples to investigate, but none of them have returned, not a single one. The more he spoke, the more his headache intensified. He gritted his teeth in frustration. This morning, the Wei Kingdom sent another urgent report, saying the situation is dire and is now spreading to neighboring nations. If this continues, the entire arid continent could fall into chaos. Moreover, if this continues, Xiantian sect's ability to recruit disciples will plummet, and we might be headed for disaster. Hearing this, Yi Junlin was also shocked and asked, is it really this severe? Did no one notice it earlier and take action before it spread this far? Su Tieshue frowned and replied, perhaps everyone who saw it has already died. If this continues, Xiantian sect might lose its legacy and fall into decline. The arid continent is already a barren place for cultivators, where even nascent soul cultivators should have supreme control. Moreover, the Wei Kingdom is outside the arid continent. There's no way Xiantian sect shouldn't be able to handle this problem. Hearing this, Yi Junlin glanced over suspiciously. Could there be an even greater force behind all this? Just then, the system suddenly issued a mission, new mission activated, travel to the Wei Kingdom and resolve the source of the crisis. Completing the mission will grant unimaginable rewards. Hearing this, Yi Junlin happily gave a thumbs up and praised, system, you really have a keen eye. Being praised, the system blushed and pouted, not bad. Yi Junlin then turned back to Su Yonyan with a serious expression and said, Sect Master, I understand your concerns. Based on what you just described, this phenomenon started in the Wei Kingdom years ago, and now it's the most severe there. The root of the problem must be in that place. I'll go there myself. Upon hearing this, Su Yonyan responded happily, that would be best. As expected, Junior Brother Yi sees things clearly. If you take action, this will surely be resolved soon. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Junlin swiftly took off on his cloud. Then I'll be off, wait for my good news. Su Yonyan tried to chase after him, but couldn't keep up. I wasn't finished talking. Su Tieshue also followed behind, sighing, the Leaf Lord truly moves like thunder and lightning. Zhao Dezhu calmly stroked his beard and asked doubtfully, can the Leaf Lord really solve this ghostly crisis? Su Tieshue crossed her arms and scolded, you blockhead. In a small place like the arid continent, even a nascent soul cultivator should be able to handle it. How could it possibly be a problem for him? Others agreed, that's right. If even he can't handle it, then the arid continent is truly doomed. Su Yonyan didn't waste any more time and immediately commanded, everyone, go train and stop thinking about anything else. Don't let Junior Brother Ye's efforts be in vain. Everyone responded in unison, understood. Transitioning to the eastern region of the wild continent, outside the immortal realm of the Wei Kingdom, two people were flying rapidly through the sky. Hong Tianai flew behind, feeling puzzled and thinking to himself, since returning from the meeting, why is he in such a hurry to go to a Poor place like the Wei Kingdom. He was still plotting against him. Fine, I'll find an opportunity to deal with you on this journey. Soon, the two of them arrived in the eastern region of the wild continent. In the Wei Kingdom, at Peach Blossom Village, Yi Junlin stood on high ground observing and said, "It looks like bandits are robbing the village. Let's go down and take a look." Hearing this, Hong Tianai seemed annoyed and cursed in his heart. What? Even trivial matters like this concern him? Below in the village chief of Peach Blossom Village knelt and pleaded, "Heroes, our village has always been poor, only raising chickens, ducks, cattle, and sheep. Take whatever you want, but please don't harm the villagers." The bandit leader bared his teeth in a sneer, responding coldly. He said, "Humph, who said I need those livestock? What I want is you." As he spoke, he began slaughtering the innocent villagers at his feet, with their screams echoing continuously. His eyes were fierce, glowing with blood-red light, and he said, "Just die obediently, that way it won't hurt." Ha ha ha. After speaking, he laughed wildly, placing both hands in front of his chest. His subordinates hurriedly ran aside, shouting in panic, "Everyone, get out of the way. The boss is about to unleash his divine power." The bandit leader laughed loudly, waved his hands, and an intense red aura burst out, surging towards the weak villagers. Cries of despair filled the air. "Help! Please don't kill me. Mom, I'm so scared." Someone screamed in terror, "A monster! He's a monster! Who will save us?" Seeing this scene, Hong Tianai frowned and said, "Oh, such an evil technique." Yi Junlin noticed his unusual reaction and asked, "Do you recognize this technique?" Meanwhile, he thought to himself, this technique is very similar to that of an enemy from the central region, but he was already eliminated by the great sacred lands there. He then pretended to be indifferent and replied, "No, I don't know it, but it seems quite sinister." Yi Junlin frowned and asked, "Kid, what kind of attitude is that?" Inside, he was slightly worried. If it really is that enemy, this journey may be far more dangerous than expected. The innocent villagers, surrounded by the red aura, cried out in pain, "Woo-woo. I don't want to die." Finally, Yi Junlin made his move. He silently approached the bandit leader and said, "Your life ends here. Stop." The bandit leader shouted angrily, "Who are you? How dare you interrupt my fun? Are you seeking death?" As he spoke, he swung his fist fiercely at Yi Junlin. However, Yi Junlin did not react at all. He simply extended a finger, and the bandit leader's movements instantly froze. His arms suddenly exploded. The bandit leader's eyes widened in horror. He collapsed in pain at Yi Junlin's feet, who calmly reassured him, "Don't panic. We can have a proper talk." His subordinates, witnessing this scene, dared not approach, only holding their swords and shouting, "Boss! Boss!" The bandit leader, sweating profusely, stammered in fear, "Why, you're a nascent soul-level cultivator." He hurriedly begged for mercy, "Please spare me." Yi Junlin asked, "Tell me, where are you from?" Trembling, with his face covered in blood, the bandit leader bowed respectfully and answered, I was a guard of the Wei Kingdom's royal palace. But after witnessing something I shouldn't have, the prince ordered my execution. To avoid a wrongful death, I desperately fled the palace." Yi Junlin continued, "What exactly did you see? Also, where did you learn that evil technique?" The bandit leader answered truthfully, "I once saw the prince frequently sneaking into the rear mountain, but I didn't dare investigate further. As for the evil technique, I was taught it by a mysterious organization during my escape, but I know nothing about their background." Yi Junlin frowned and asked, "They just taught you the technique for no reason?" The bandit leader, flustered, said, "They only asked me to continuously use this technique to absorb others' blood essence to enhance my cultivation, and then they would teach me more. To protect myself, I had no choice but to obey. I know nothing else. Hearing this, Yi Junlin seemed to understand something and slowly said, it looks like there's a powerful organization behind this, manipulating everything. Their actions are likely connected to this demonic disaster. Hong Tianai stood to the side, still muttering to himself, the method of transmitting this technique is very similar to that person. Could he really still be alive? But how could he appear in the wild continent? Suddenly, he looked at Yi Junlin and asked, Xiao Hong, what do you think? Hong Tianai snapped out of his thoughts and replied, I don't know. He recalled the scene earlier, when the bandit leader released that red demonic energy, if this demonic disaster is really his doing. Yi Junlin, even as a nascent soul cultivator, won't be able to handle it. The Wei Kingdom might truly be his final destination. Yi Junlin wasn't entirely convinced by the bandit leader's words. He used his spiritual energy to probe the man's mind and coldly said, let me see what secrets you're still hiding. He trembled all over in fear, almost wetting his pants. From his dilated pupils, he saw a group of people who had imparted that demonic power, just as he had described. After a while, due to exhaustion and weakness, the bandit leader collapsed to the ground, groaning in pain. Yang said, he really wasn't lying, but I saw a very important piece of information. We must rush to the Wei Kingdom's imperial palace immediately. As soon as he finished speaking, Hong Tianai couldn't wait to act. He flicked his fingers. A burst of flames erupted fiercely, burning the remaining bandits to ashes. None of them could escape, and desperate screams filled the air. The villagers who witnessed all this were also shocked by his actions. The flames around Hong Tianai were abnormally intense. He glared at Yang with a sinister smile and asked, Master, did I do something wrong? Shouldn't these demonic bandits die? As he spoke, he clenched his fists, revealing years of suppressed anger. Because of these people, he could finally unleash his power. I've been holding back for so long, and now I can finally kill to vent my frustration. Suddenly, everyone became joyous. Yang gave a thumbs up in praise, not bad, well done. The innocent villagers also cheered excitedly, the immortal has eliminated evil and upheld justice. We, the people of Peach Blossom Village, will be forever grateful to the two celestial beings. Meanwhile, in the eastern region of the Wild Continent, at the Great Wei Imperial Palace, officials were discussing state affairs in the court. The aging emperor of Great Wei sat on his throne, weak and sighing, sigh. Over the past few years, our population has decreased by a third. If this continues, my empire will soon be destroyed by the demonic scourge. I wonder if the immortals of Shantian sect can help Great Wei through this crisis. Just as the ministers were anxiously discussing countermeasures, a crisp voice suddenly rang out in the hall, Father! Father! A young princess rushed in hurriedly, her face filled with joy, and said, I saw two immortals flying toward the palace. Upon hearing this, the Great Wei Emperor immediately became energized and ordered at once, What? It must be the immortals from Shantian sect. My loyal ministers, come with me to greet them. At this moment, Yang and his disciple were flying on clouds, appearing majestic and awe-inspiring. Yang smugly asked, Xiao Hong, isn't it cool for me to arrive in such a grand manner? Standing beside him, with arms crossed, Hong Tianai nodded indifferently, Master is wise. I feel the same way. Though outwardly obedient, he was secretly cursing in his heart, Who does he think he is? Once we uncover the truth about the demonic scourge, let's see how he handles himself. By then, he better not beg me for help. Soon, the Great Wei Emperor arrived personally to greet them. He respectfully pressed his palms together and said to Yang, Welcome, immortal master, to our humble kingdom. Yang immediately switched to a serious demeanor and responded, I am Yang Junlin, Peak Lord of Misty Peak from Xiantian sect. I have come today to assist your kingdom in resolving this crisis. There's no need to worry. Hearing this, the emperor's face lit up with joy. On behalf of the people of Wei, I thank the great immortal. Immortal, do you have any instructions? Yang swiftly landed on the ground and instructed, arrange a place for my disciple and me to rest. The emperor, without hesitation, respectfully agreed, no problem. Please follow me, I will personally escort you. Yang's group followed quickly, their expressions turning serious. However, they did not notice a shadow lurking nearby, watching them with a contemptuous tone, just. The Peak Lord of Xiantian sect, putting on airs. Perfect. I was just troubled about not having enough sacrifices to help my master break through the nascent soul peak stage, and now you've come at the right time. Watching Yang leisurely enjoying fruits, Hong Tianai felt indignant and thought angrily, just moments ago, he was acting like a dog, and now he's being so careless. Lazy and idle all the time, how could he possibly reach the nascent soul stage? Well, at this rate, I'll surpass him soon enough. When the time comes, I'll have a much better chance of taking him down. Yang understood his disciple's thoughts and chuckled inwardly, Xiao Hong, you only know how to scheme over small matters, but sooner or later, you'll bring about your own downfall. He lifted his foot, kicked off his shoe, and muttered to himself, your biggest mistake was making me your target. After kicking off the other shoe, he burst into laughter, Xiao Hong, aren't you curious how I cultivated? Go fetch me some water to wash my feet. Once I'm comfortable, I'll teach you how to cultivate. Standing beside him, Hong Tianai clenched his fists tightly, his body trembling slightly. He gritted his teeth in anger, forcing out each word through clenched jaws. What did you say? In his mind, he sneered. Just a mere nascent soul cultivator, yet in this backwater place, he dares to teach me cultivation. Back in the day, many immortals learned the techniques I passed down. If he truly succeeds in teaching me, I might as well call him ancestor. Seeing no response from the other party, he picked up a grape and was about to put it in his mouth before speaking again. What are you standing there for? Do you not want to improve? Are you planning to retire at such a young age? Hong Tianjie was boiling with anger, thinking, I am the grand sect master of the fire-worshipping demon sect, and yet I have to wash your feet. I might as well turn hostile now. He made up his mind, cleared his throat, and said, listen. Before he could finish, a voice interrupted, reporting to the two immortals, another strange phenomenon has occurred. In Wei, I have something to report. Frustrated, he remained silent, waiting to see what had happened. Yi Junlin stood up and asked, who is it? The person outside responded politely, I am the first prince of Wei. Zhao Heng. This matter concerns the survival of our nation, and I humbly request an audience with the immortals. He waved his hand toward the entrance as a signal. When the door opened, he said, come in. What is so urgent? Watching the man walk in, Hong Tianjie thought to himself, so this is the prince who was hunting down bandits. He doesn't seem like what the rumors say. But is that really the case? Zhao Heng knelt on the ground and pleaded, Immortal, I have never dared to reveal this secret to my royal father. I suspect that the source of the demonic turmoil in Wei may lie in the rear mountains of the imperial palace. He reported what he knew. A few days ago, I saw several black demon bats sneaking into a cave. Moreover, palace maids and eunuchs have been disappearing frequently. I believe they are connected to this incident. Seeing no response from the other party, Zhao Heng spoke again, I have long heard of the immortal's great name and know that you possess divine abilities. Now, only you can save the people of Wei. I humbly beg you to intervene and subdue the demon bats in the rear mountains. Yi Junlin used his divine sense to examine his words. Stroking his chin in thought, he mused, oh, my divine Sense has not detected any abnormalities in the rear mountains. How dare this person lie so brazenly? Does he take me for a fool? Perhaps he has supporters behind him, strong enough to challenge me. Thinking this, he stood up and gestured, very well, take me to this cave. In his heart, he silently thought, let's see what you're really hiding. Zhao Heng stood up, walked toward the door, and gestured for them to follow. Thank you, immortal. Please. Come with me. With the immortal's power, the demonic scourge in Wei will surely be eradicated. Watching him leave, Hong Tianjie was no longer as impatient as before and thought, forget it. I'll settle the score with you later. The three of them walked along the palace corridors, and the atmosphere was eerily silent. The princess saw Zhao Heng and was surprised. That's my elder brother. She felt puzzled. My brother has always been ill-tempered, and despite father's many warnings, he has never changed. Yet now, he dares to secretly meet with the two immortals. I must report this to father immediately. That night, the sky had neither moon nor stars, and the leaves on the trees seemed to be covered in a strange black hue. As the three of them arrived at the rear mountains, Yi Junlin observed the surroundings and said, Prince, this place doesn't seem like a demon bat habitat. The person in front stopped upon hearing this and announced, we've arrived. Yi Junlin remained calm and said, finally here. Now, let's see what you're really hiding. Zhao Heng turned around and laughed loudly, ha ha ha. At first, I didn't expect to fool you, but I never thought you would obediently follow me here. In the end, you are too confident in your own strength. But you don't realize that there's always someone stronger out there. He crushed the object in his hand and said frantically, you think you can stop us? Don't think that just because you're the peak lord of Shantian sect, you're truly an immortal. Yi Junlin, today, this place will be your grave. After saying that, he looked up and shouted, elders, please take action. Sure enough, several shadowy figures appeared in the air above, waiting in ambush. A group of people swiftly activated the five-fold divine binding formation, trapping Yi Junlin and his disciple inside. The surrounding area flickered with a crimson glow. An elderly man with his eyes covered sneered, Peak Lord Yi, you've been quite famous lately. Just a mere Peak Lord, yet you managed to kill a nascent soul stage demon king. He was a late nascent soul elder of the Bloodlight sect. The people behind him laughed as well, haha. Unfortunately, within this five-fold divine binding formation, even those at the soul formation stage would struggle to escape. Zhao Heng crossed his arms and said, we must not delay. He instructed, everyone, act quickly. Make sure to spare his life if possible, my master will want him. As for that woman in red, cripple her cultivation. As he said this, he licked his lips and revealed a longing expression, I want to savor it slowly. Hearing these words, Hong Tianjie felt insulted, his eyes burning with rage as he shouted, what did you say? He waved his hand and pointed at Zhao Heng, sending out a surge of red flames as he roared in fury, I didn't intend to get involved in this matter, but you dared to speak so recklessly and touch my reverse scale. The formation was quickly destroyed, and those surrounding them were sent flying. Zhao Heng exclaimed in shock, she broke it with a single strike. He panicked, impossible. The divine binding formation we set up was actually broken. The heavily injured elders spoke anxiously, Prince, we never expected the peak lord of Shantian sect to bring a disciple at the soul formation stage. The elder of the Bloodlight sect shouted, and her technique might be of immortal rank, otherwise, how could she have broken our divine binding formation? Zhao Heng thought angrily, these useless old fools. I hope you can at least achieve something for our master. Changing his tone, he spoke gently, Fairy, we can talk things through. With your cultivation, if you follow my master, your future will be boundless. Once again, Hong Tianjie felt insulted and said angrily, you dare to try and seduce me? I will make you wish you were dead. With that, he pointed at Zhao Heng, and in an instant, flames engulfed him like a living torch. Zhao Heng rolled on the ground within the fire, the smell of burning flesh filling the air as his terrified screams echoed around. Watching the scene, Yi Junlin sighed, what a miserable sight. You really know how to pick the wrong place to stir up trouble. Seeing that Zhao Heng had suffered enough, Yi Junlin instructed his disciple, that's enough. Don't let him die, I have questions for him. Hearing this, Hong Tianjie pointed at Zhao Heng. The flames immediately extinguished, leaving Zhao Heng in a wretched state, sitting weakly on the ground. Yi Junlin asked, where is your master? Does he really have the power to make soul formation cultivators submit to him? Zhao Heng, still unafraid, tried to entice him with hope, my master was once an immortal from the central region. A mere soul formation cultivator is nothing compared to him. You should take this opportunity to submit to my master now, or else when he appears, your death will be far worse. Hearing this, Yi Junlin sneered coldly, submit? What a joke. Let's see how long your master can keep hiding, right now, I'll just start by killing one of you. Without hesitation, he pointed at the nearest elder and shouted, one. Instantly, the elder coughed up blood and died. The Bloodlight sect elder, seeing his comrade killed in a single move, was horrified, what? He's also at the soul formation stage? How could there be two soul formation cultivators in this barren land? Before he could finish speaking, Yi Junlin had already pointed at him and shouted, two. Another person fell dead. He continued calling out, 3, 4, 5. And the remaining 3 were killed one after another. He then pointed at Zhao Heng, his cold voice ringing out, you're the only one left. Trembling in fear, the prince stammered, you, wait. He looked up at the moon, which was surrounded by an eerie red glow, and shouted, Master, save me. Suddenly, a pillar of light descended from the sky, shattering trees and sending birds scattering in panic. In the distance, the emperor and princess of Great Wei were galloping on horseback. Soldiers followed behind them. The princess pointed ahead and shouted, Father. What is that? The blood-red glow is terrifying. The emperor spurred his horse forward and shouted, hurry over and take a look. I hope the immortal is safe. Hong Tianai sensed the change in the atmosphere around him and silently thought, this aura feels so familiar. So it really is him. Even though he can handle Yi Junlin, facing him again still makes me uneasy. Zhao Heng laughed maniacally. Ha! Master has finally arrived. Your death is near. From the sky, a figure engulfed in flames slowly descended. As his feet touched the ground, he exhaled lightly. This person radiated an eerie aura, with red glowing hair and eyes. 2 horned skulls rested on his shoulders. He was none other than Shi Qinjue, the leader of the Central Plains Bloodlight sect. Yi Junlin looked up at him and said indifferently, so you're the mastermind behind all this? I thought you were too much of a coward to show up. Shi Qinjue spoke lightly, a cultivator from Wild Continent. I admit you have some skill, but you're not worthy of fighting me. After speaking, he turned his gaze toward Hong Tianai. On the contrary, the one standing over there has piqued my interest. At this moment, Hong Tianai narrowed his eyes slightly, his tone laced with doubt. Blood demon, I never expected you to still be alive. Seeing their exchange, Yi Junlin asked in confusion, Xiao Hong, what's your connection to this man? Shi Qinjue looked down at Hong Tianai, who barely reached his chest, and sneered. Blood demon. That name was erased over 200 years ago, when the great holy lands of the Central Plains besieged and destroyed him. No one has heard of it since. I didn't expect you to remember me. Hong Tianai furrowed his brows slightly, his thin lips moving. Ha! Anyone who lived through that legendary battle would never forget. In his heart, he thought, this man Recalling the scene of people fleeing in terror from the blood formation, Hong Tianai felt a mix of emotions. Back then, Shi Tianjue was the strongest true immortal cultivator, sustaining himself by consuming human blood and passing his dark techniques to countless followers. If left unchecked, he would bring catastrophe, eventually betraying his own disciples and draining their energy to strengthen himself. He remembered how Shi Tianjue had fought alone against the combined forces of the top sections. Hong Tianai sighed. His dark techniques were too powerful, and his cultivation level rose too quickly. The top forces united to exterminate him, and even I, someone from the demonic path, got dragged into it. I never thought that the infamous blood demon would still be alive, and now he's appeared in the most barren eastern region of Wild Continent. If news of this reaches the Central Plains, it will cause a huge uproar. Seeing his master, Zhao Han clung to his last hope, crawling forward to complain. Master! You're finally here. These people want to kill me. You must avenge me. Shi Tianjue's eyes shot out two flames, striking Zhao Heng's head and instantly burning him to a crisp. He was dead beyond saving. Shi Tianjue shouted, insolence. Watching the figure descend, Hong Tianai couldn't help but smirk. As expected, blood demon's methods are the most ruthless, even his own disciple wasn't spared. Shi Tianjue stepped closer to Hong Tianai, his tone carrying a hint of temptation. He was just a disciple. I can find another. At any time. But if you wished for his death, I would naturally grant it. You understand my intentions, don't you? Yi Junlin suddenly pulled out a sunflower from somewhere, munching on the seeds while watching the drama unfold, his eyes lighting up. Wow, this is a huge revelation. What kind of script is this? Hong Tianai took a slight step back to avoid his touch and couldn't help but ask his own question. I saw it with my own eyes. Your immortal body was shattered to pieces by the 4 divine artifacts, and even your blood was evaporated. How did you escape? Shi Tianjue chuckled, no longer concealing anything. Ha, those self-righteous fools. Long before that, I had separated a single drop of destiny blood and cast a spell to hide it in a secret place. When I fell, that drop of destiny blood allowed me to be reborn. His eyes narrowed slightly as he spoke, probing, but what a coincidence. It seems you and I are the same. With that, he extended his hand enticingly. Right now, I urgently need to restore my cultivation, and you're only at the early stage of the soul formation realm. Why not surrender obediently and offer your blood? Only then can we be together forever. Hong Tianai clenched his fists and roared angrily, you're insane. Back in the Central Plains, I rejected you countless times, and now, even after being reborn, you still refuse to repent. As soon as he finished speaking, Hong Tianai activated his spiritual power, flames surrounding his entire body. He mocked, do you really think that just because you're at the peak of the soul formation realm, you can defeat me? A fiery light flickered in Shi Tianjue's eyes as he sneered coldly. Good, very good. The more you resist, the more excited I become. For others, a battle might hold a sliver of hope, but for me, that's nothing more than a delusion. Fire flickered within the crimson flames as Hong Tianai sneered. Ha! You won't know the outcome unless we fight. With that, he raised his hand and shouted, 5 absolute divine flames. Shi Tianjue furrowed his brows in surprise and asked in confusion, this is. Without hesitation, he also swung his palm towards his opponent, shouting, blood kill palm. A giant palm, red as fire, emerged. The two techniques collided, producing a deafening explosion as sparks flickered continuously in the air. Shi Tianjue thought in shock, impossible. How can these flames be so overwhelming? Just a moment ago, she was only at the early soul formation stage, yet she managed to break my blood kill palm. Where did she learn such a technique? Hong Tianai did not let his guard down after the first exchange. Raising both hands, his body emitted a chilling aura as he snorted coldly, his expression stern. Humph. That was just the beginning. As he finished speaking, he swung his hand and shouted, "Frost Flame Fury." Instantly, a wave of frost-like cold energy surged toward Shi Tianjue. A massive black halberd appeared in Shi Tianjue's hand, glowing red, with crackling sparks of lightning flashing around it. This was the soul-devouring blood halberd. He raised his hand and hurled the halberd toward his opponent, his tone filled with disdain. "You're nothing more than a failed subordinate." Ice and fire clashed, releasing a thunderous explosion. Shi Tianjue looked at his frost-covered arm in astonishment and said, "What kind of fire-based technique have you cultivated? How does it carry such an ominous aura?" Clenching his fist, a chilling breath escaped his teeth as he sneered, "Destroy me?" In an instant, the frost shattered into countless shards. He smirked sinisterly. "No wonder you caught my attention. How thrilling. Did you obtain some great fortune after leaving the Central Plains? Did you take an expert as your master?" Hong Tianai replied proudly, "That has nothing to do with you. If I had such a technique earlier, I would have already dominated the Central Plains." But deep down, he thought, "I never expected the value of the three heavenly flames to be this immense. This blood demon, once feared across the Central Plains, is now being suppressed by me. But I can't let him know that this technique was actually taught by a mere soul formation cultivator from Wild Continent." Shi Tianjue's eyes gleamed with fiery light as he spoke. "If I allow you to keep growing, I might not be able to subdue you in the future." With that, he raised his hand, where streaks of black and red light floated in his palm. He sighed regretfully. "What a pity. This is where it all ends. Now, I'll show you the true power of the undying demon domain." The light rapidly expanded before shooting forward. At the same time, terrified cries echoed from cities across the Wei Kingdom. "Help! Someone, save me! Woo! I don't want to die." A savage, half-naked man stood amidst the chaos, absorbing the crimson energy around him. He let out an eerie laugh. "This feeling is incredible. These people were already my food. With just a single thought, I can refine all their cultivation to strengthen myself instantly." Back at the battle between Hong Tianai and Shi Tianjue, Yi Junlin watched their heated verbal exchange and urged his disciple, Xiao Hong, "Stop wasting time and finish him off already." Hong Tianai glared at him in anger. "I don't need your instructions." Though he said that, inwardly, he was growing anxious. Damn it! How did it come to this? I originally thought that once Yi Junlin encountered the blood demon, he wouldn't be able to hold out and would beg for my help. Then, I could step in at the perfect moment. His brows furrowed slightly, his eyes narrowing. But now, I might not even be able to protect myself. Watching as Shi Tianjue's body grew larger, radiating an overwhelming aura, Hong Tianai muttered in confusion, "This energy. Did he break through to the body fusion stage?" Shi Tianjue's mind drifted back to years ago. Beneath a blood-red night sky, the moon loomed closer to the earth, casting an eerie glow over the city. He recalled the mountains of corpses and rivers of blood, where he had arrogantly declared, back then, with this undying body, I never once lost a battle among the strongest cultivators. Even when the ancient monsters of the sacred lands joined forces with celestial weapons, they couldn't completely destroy my undying body. The flickering flames illuminated his face as he let out a cruel laugh. Now, my undying body has recovered 70%. Once I devour all life in Wild Continent, I'll restore my full power. When that happens, even the Central Plains will have no one who can rival me. With that, he raised his massive palm and struck down toward his opponent. Hong Tianai, I'm giving you a chance. Whatever happens next is entirely your own responsibility. Die. Hong Tianye's eyes widened in shock. This guy has already reached the body fusion stage. This is bad. Without hesitation, he raised his hands and cast a spell. Purple flame sky split. Instantly, violet flames erupted and enveloped his body. A purple fireball surrounded Hong Tianyi, while Shi Tianjue controlled his massive hand to reach out and grab it. Neither side had the upper hand. Hong Tianyi suffered a backlash, feeling a slight sweetness in his throat before spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. Clenching his teeth in anger, he thought, fighting this blood demon is courting death. I have no choice but to burn my dantian and stake everything on this battle. With that thought, he immediately raised both hands, gathering spiritual energy toward the sky, unleashing purple flame skybreaker, followed by blazing dragon wrath. A golden dragon, formed by burning his dantian, took shape, opening its jaws wide as it charged toward his opponent. Shi Tianjue easily blocked the attack with one hand and sneered, "It's useless. Stop your pointless resistance. Your techniques are nothing more than an itch to my undying blood domain." Clenching his fist, Shi Tianjue prepared to strike and shouted, "It's over." Hong Tianyi grew anxious. I've already used my strongest technique against him, yet it had no effect. What now? After a moment of thought, he crossed his hands in front of his chest and cast * holy golden flame-tide star. Extending his hands forward, a golden light appeared, forming a barrier in front of him. Seeing this, Shi Tianjue laughed loudly as he swung his fist. Ha! Break for me! The shield shattered into countless fragments, and Hong Tianyi was sent flying. The newly arrived emperor saw him crash to the ground with a loud bang and cried out in panic, "Immortal Lord!" The princess furrowed her brows in fear and asked, "Father, what kind of monster is this? It's terrifying." The emperor's face darkened, and he did not respond. Instead, he thought to himself, "Is this the fiend that brought disaster upon Wei? Even the immortal Lord is no match for him. Is my Wei kingdom doomed?" From a cloud of dust, coughing sounds emerged. Cough, cough. Hong Tianyi, trembling, propped himself up with one hand while wiping the dirt off his face with the other. Frustrated, he thought, "Is this how my path to immortality ends? After all the effort I put into obtaining this technique, how can I accept this? Do I really have to beg that damned Yi Junlin?" His entire body trembled as chaotic thoughts flooded his mind. Admitting that I'm weaker than him would be the ultimate humiliation. Besides, he's only at the peak of the nascent soul stage, still far from the body fusion stage. Even if I beg him, would it even help? Seeing his opponent's wretched state, Shi Tianjue clenched his fist and mocked, "We cultivators seek eternal life. If you refuse to live alongside me, then after your death, you shall become part of me. I will carry your will and complete this endless path to immortality." With that, he reached out toward the fallen Hong Tianyi. Hong Tianyi, covered in wounds, watched his opponent approach and thought to himself, "It's over." His eyes widened, his mind went blank, and for a moment, nothing existed in his thoughts. Whether it was sheer survival instinct or a desperate grasp for hope, he acted. He shouted, "Master! Save me!" Upon hearing his plea, Shi Tianjue suddenly realized something and asked, "Master? So you really did take a teacher?" From the distance, Yi Junlin's voice rang out, "Good disciple. You finally remembered me." At that moment, Yi Junlin strolled over leisurely and positioned himself between Hong Tianyi and Shi Tianjue. Folding his arms and tilting his head up slightly, he introduced himself, "His master is me." Upon learning his opponent's cultivation level, Shi Tianjue pointed at Hong Tianyi and burst into laughter. "Hong Tianyi, I never expected you to fall so low, actually taking an abandoned wasteland weakling, who just barely reached the nascent soul stage, as your master." You are truly a disgrace to the demonic path. Hong Ti and I couldn't help but worry. Even though I hate how Yi Junlin always orders me around, he did just save my life. But now, standing in front of Shi Tianjue, this could be a serious problem. However, in this situation, Yi Junlin still remained calm and said, I understand, you must be looking down on me, right? Shi Tianjue's fury exploded. He felt that the other party was mocking him and shouted angrily, an ant that doesn't know its limits. If I were at my peak, I could drown you with just a single spit. After thinking it over, Hong Ti and I realized he had miscalculated and said to Yi Junlin, apologies. I didn't know that master was no match for the blood demon and still called for help. If you still have the strength, you should run while you can. Hearing this, Yi Junlin smiled slightly and said in a soft voice, run. That's not going to happen. Hong Ti and I was stunned by his master's words. He looked at him and said, watch carefully and see how I will kill him for you. Shi Tianjue burst into laughter upon hearing that. Ha ha ha, kill me. I doubt you can even withstand a single move. What gives you the right to say that? With that, he stretched out his hand and shouted, arrogant fool. Seeing Shi Tianjue's hand approaching, Hong Ti and I panicked and urged, forget about me. Master, run away now. He thought to himself, it's over. However, contrary to everyone's expectations, Yi Junlin remained calm in the face of the demonic attack. Amidst the raging flames, a notification panel appeared before him, *ding. Detected that the host is under attack from a late-stage body fusion. Realm opponent. Activating passive effect, grow stronger when facing strength. Cultivation increased to mid-stage body fusion realm, *. He smiled faintly, looking at the dazzling light around him. A beam of light shot out from within his body, piercing straight through the demonic hand, causing it to shatter instantly. Seeing the gaping hole in his hand, Shi Tianjue cried out in shock, how can this be? Impossible. A mere nascent soul cultivator. At that moment, realization struck him, and he exclaimed, wait. You're not in the nascent soul stage, you're actually in the body fusion realm. Now it was Hong Tianye's turn to be shocked. What? He thought furiously, this guy was hiding his strength so well, pretending to be a nascent soul cultivator, but in reality, he's a mighty body fusion expert. Remembering how Yi Junlin had made him train by hitting his back before, he suddenly understood. No wonder he kept provoking me back then. So he was relying on his body fusion realm cultivation all along. I almost fell for his act. Good thing I didn't truly turn against him. Outside, the princess was overjoyed by what she saw. The immortal lord is truly powerful. I want to be like you. However, the emperor did not share her enthusiasm. He sighed and said, but his opponent is an immensely powerful fiend with an undying body. I fear this will still be a difficult battle. Yi Junlin sensed the changes in his dantian and let out a light chuckle. Haha. He thought to himself, so this is what breaking into the body fusion realm feels like. It's as if I could destroy the heavens and earth with just a wave of my hand. Shi Tianjue restored his hand using demonic energy and scoffed, Even though we are both in the body fusion realm, your backwater techniques from the abandoned wasteland are nothing compared to mine. The gap between us is like heaven and earth. I will make you understand that. The formation Yi Junlin had set up was surrounded by countless mysterious runes. Shi Tianjue swung his fist toward him, shouting, let me show you what true power is. Yi Junlin's gaze remained steady as he watched the incoming attack. He calmly said, you are the one who doesn't understand true power. With that, he raised 2 fingers and shouted, *King Seal, *. Instantly, Shi Tianjue was engulfed in golden light. He lifted his other hand, gently pointing forward before rotating it. A beam of light gradually took shape, swirling as it followed the direction of his finger. Shi Tianjue suddenly swung his arms, striking toward the bright area in front of him, creating a tremendous sound. However, no matter how he moved his arms, he couldn't touch the light. He gritted his teeth furiously and muttered, "What is this?" Yi Junlin smiled slightly. "Huh, do you think this is just a matter of technique range?" He thought to himself, the king's seal has already reached the perfected level through the hanging cultivation system. It's many times stronger than when I first used it, Shi Tianjue's furious voice echoed, "So what? You still can't kill my immortal body. The longer you fight, the harder it will be for you to defeat me." Yi Junlin remained calm, thinking, this immortal blood body is quite interesting. But that's fine, this is a good chance to test a new move, He then reached out his hand and said softly, "Then let's try this one." He gently formed a seal with 2 fingers, and an intense golden energy ring appeared at his fingertips. This divine technique had already reached the perfected stage. This was the great wilderness heaven-covering seal. At the same time, countless beams of light shot down from the sky. They gathered to form an enormous golden finger, as Yi Junlin's voice echoed through the air. Shi Tianjue cursed in disbelief, "Damn it! What is this now?" No longer underestimating his opponent, his tone grew serious. "I take back what I said earlier. You are indeed qualified to fight me. Since that's the case, let's stop holding back and settle this with one decisive move." With that, he raised both hands, and black demonic energy surged around him. He shouted loudly, "Blood Valor Underworld Spring, However, those enormous fingers had already pierced through, breaking apart the black mist, leaving him stunned. A thunderous explosion rang out, and blood-red liquid sprayed from his side. Shi Tianjue's upper body was exposed, revealing his muscular build and 8-pack abs. Cold sweat gradually appeared on his face, and his eyes were bloodshot, a mix of shock and fear. He asked in a deep voice, "Who, exactly are you?" Seeing Yi Junlin's composed expression, Shi Tianjue was filled with doubt. Why would I encounter such a monster in this tiny wasteland? Have I been secluded for so long that the outside world's geniuses have grown this powerful? Hong Tianai pressed his lips together, furrowing his brows in shock. Too strong. Even the 3 days blazing flames are nothing in comparison to this technique. No wonder he was so confident before, he never even saw me as a real threat. Yi Junlin finally spoke slowly, introducing himself. "I am Yi Junlin, Peak Lord of Misty Peak from the Shantian sect." Shi Tianjue narrowed his eyes with suspicion. "Impossible. When I infiltrated the wasteland region for investigation, even the sect leader of Shantian's sect hadn't reached the nascent soul stage yet." Then, he uttered the typical words of a villain, "Yi Junlin, I will remember you." Immediately after, he struck his own abdomen, blood and flesh intertwining as he shouted in pain, "Blood escape technique, *." Realizing his plan, Hong Tianai shouted anxiously, "Damn it. He's trying to escape. If he gets away, the consequences will be unimaginable." As Shi Tianjue's body slowly dissolved into blood, he declared arrogantly, "Yi Junlin, next time, I won't be this careless." In the end, only a pool of blood remained, and Shi Tianjue's sinister laughter echoed through the air, "Ha ha ha." However, Yi Junlin was not someone who could be easily provoked. He snorted coldly, "Next time." He extended his finger toward the pool of blood. Using his spiritual power, he controlled the blood. From within, Shi Tianjue's face emerged, and he said in shock, No. I don't want this to end yet." Streams of blood essence seeped into Yi Junlin's body as he spoke coldly, feeding on human blood, enraging the divine soul, "Disappear from this world." He struck the remaining blood mist with his palm, producing a deafening explosion. In the end, only a misty white smoke and dazzling golden light remained. Seeing this, Hong Tianai was terrified and thought, asterisk the blood demon, who once shook the central region, was wiped out so easily, asterisk. Outside, the emperor and princess shouted excitedly, amazing. The demon has been vanquished by the celestial being. Our great way is finally saved. Thank you, celestial being. Yi Junlin slowly descended, his feet gradually touching the ground. Seeing that the system remained silent for a long time, he reminded it, system, where's my reward? Be proactive, don't make me remind you. Remember, you're a professional. The system's voice rang out repeatedly, coming, coming. Here's the reward for the handsome and elegant. Contract holder. Congratulations, you have obtained a mysterious bone inscribed with runes. It grants the user a supreme level physique and ensures they will become an unparalleled existence in the future. Supreme bone, a mysterious bone inscribed with runes. It grants the user a supreme level physique and ensures they will become an unparalleled existence in the future, asterisk. The system then asked, would the contract holder like to bind it immediately? Yi Junlin eagerly replied, unparalleled. That powerful? Hurry up, don't keep me waiting. A swirling vortex appeared on his chest. A notification followed, asterisk binding process initiated. Once the supreme bone is bound, the contract holder's combat power will increase significantly, asterisk. After a while, the system's voice announced, binding complete. Congratulations, contract holder. As Yi Junlin stood there with a quiet smile, Hong Tianai became alarmed. Asterisk what is this guy doing again? The energy fluctuations from his body are making me tremble. What kind of fortune did he obtain? Without such a great opportunity, how could such a monstrous talent exist in the wasteland region, asterisk. Anger flashed across his face as he furrowed his brows in deep thought, resolving in his heart, asterisk damn it. I need to reassess his true strength. I must intensify my training and break through to the fusion realm as soon as possible, only then can I confidently control him, asterisk. Seeing the dazzling golden light radiating from Yi Junlin's body, the emperor and princess knelt in gratitude. The emperor spoke respectfully, thank you, celestial being, for saving the people of Wei. Our kingdom will record this event in history, so future generations may forever remember your grace. Hearing this, Yi Junlin replied calmly. No need for thanks. Being a good emperor and treating your people well is more important than anything else. The princess then happily spoke up, I will remember your teachings, celestial being. May I join Xiantian sect? I wish to eliminate demons and uphold justice, just like you. Upon hearing this, Yi Junlin turned around and looked at her, his eyes displaying a yin-yang pattern. He examined the princess's face as the system scanned her information. Satisfied, he said, Ling'er indeed has an excellent water spirit root, a good prospect. If you are determined, I can accept you. Hearing this, the emperor quickly urged the princess, really? Ling'er, hurry and thank the celestial being. Ling'er obeyed, her cheeks flushing with excitement. Ling'er thanks the celestial being. Seizing the opportunity, the emperor extended an invitation, celestial being. Not only have you saved Wei, but you have also accepted Ling'er as your disciple. On behalf of the people of Wei, I express my gratitude. Please, both of you, stay at the Grand Palace for a few days to rest. Yi Junlin quickly responded, all right, let's go. Hong Tianai had been silently standing to the side without making a sound. Now, he let out a light sigh. Suddenly, flames erupted across his entire body. Hong Tianai had reached the peak of the nascent soul stage. Spreading his arms wide, he said, finally, my injuries have healed, and my cultivation has broken through to the peak of the nascent soul stage. Ever since I started cultivating the three heavens flame garment and using elixirs, my training speed has increased significantly. His techniques are truly extraordinary. Gritting his teeth, he muttered to himself, although you saved me this time, the humiliation I suffered won't be forgotten so easily. Once I break through to the fusion stage, I'll repay this humiliation tenfold. He imagined a day when Yi Junlin would kneel before him. He couldn't help but chuckle softly, just you wait, Yi Junlin. The mere thought of you humbly begging for mercy already excites me. At that moment, a sudden voice interrupted his thoughts, Xiao Hong, come see your master. Annoyed, he shook his head and thought, humph, here we go again. I'll give him some face for now, Meanwhile, Yi Junlin was leisurely sitting down. He had just finished reading a novel and commented, this martial arts novel is quite interesting. It seems the locals here enjoy these kinds of plots, slapping faces and acting cool, huh? If I transmigrated into this country, I could probably make money writing novels. I should start with Battle Through the Heavens. It's bound to be a nationwide hit. And the author's name? Mad Potato. Hong Ti and I couldn't make out what he was muttering and thought, what is this guy mumbling about again, but out loud, he respectfully asked, Master. Why have you summoned me? Yi Junlin said, oh, you're here. With that, he waved his hand, and a basin of water appeared on the ground. Yi Junlin took off his shoes, dipped his bare feet into the water, and said softly, come, wash your master's feet. The words struck like thunder. Hong Ti and I seethed with anger, you. He tried to console himself, even someone as powerful as the blood demon was killed by this man. Now is not the time to turn against him. Endure it, Seeing him hesitate, Yi Junlin waved his hand and said, what's wrong? Are you disgusted by your master? Why aren't you kneeling down to wash my feet? Hong Ti and I clenched his fists, gritting his teeth as he replied, disciple does not dare. He knelt down, thinking to himself, I was once the leader of the demon sect, a true celestial stage powerhouse. Over 10 million cultivators have died by my hand. And now, I have to endure this humiliation, washing the feet of a mere cultivator from the wasteland region, Yi Junlin saw his awkward expression and couldn't help but chuckle, good disciple. Internally, he laughed, kid, you think you can compete with me, As Hong Tianye's gaze fell on the water in the basin, his expression suddenly changed, wait a minute. This water, it's Tai boundless water. Memories surfaced in his mind, I remember how everyone fought over this water. If a mortal drinks it, they can maintain their youthful appearance and live up to 200 years. If a cultivator drinks it, it purifies their body, making it flawless and accelerating their cultivation immensely. Even a small bottle of this water is highly sought after in the central region. It's something countless cultivators dream of obtaining, Looking at Yi Junlin's relaxed demeanor, Hong Ti and I was utterly shocked, this guy is using such a precious treasure, just to soak his feet. The way he squanders divine resources only confirms that he must have gained an incredible opportunity. Otherwise, how could he afford to be this extravagant? His lips trembled as he stared at the feet soaking in the water, secretly speculating, with this much Tai boundless water, if I could drink it, it would be immensely beneficial to my cultivation, As the thought crossed his mind, he berated himself, wait, this is foot washing water, Seeing Hong Tianye's strained expression, Yi Junlin frowned and asked, what are you doing? Do you think my feet smell? His face darkened, and he immediately refuted, no, no. Disciple was just lost in thought about something else. Observing his inner turmoil, Yi Junlin secretly laughed, the system gave me so much Tai boundless water. As a reward. I never expected that using it for a foot soak, along with my clueless disciple, would be this satisfying, Maintaining a composed expression, he casually remarked, the water's a bit cold. Add some heat. After speaking, he submerged his hands into the water, flames appeared, and the water's temperature rose. The entire room was filled with the shimmering reflections of rippling water as Yi Junlin relaxed in his chair. Outside the door, warm sunlight streamed into the room. At that moment, Princess Linger suddenly burst into the room, happily shouting, "Immortal." Just as she finished speaking, Yi Junlin sighed in comfort, "Ah, this feels great." Standing behind Yi Junlin, she saw him sitting in his chair with his back to her, while Hong Tianai was bent over at his feet. The scene was easy to misinterpret, causing her face to flush as she thought, "Oh. My God! What is happening here? I never expected this kind of dynamic between master and disciple, **. She quickly turned and ran away like a startled dog, muttering, "This is way too embarrassing." Watching her flee like a madwoman, Yi Junlin asked in confusion, "What is Linger running for?" At this moment, Hong Tianai asked softly, "Master, are you satisfied with your foot washing?" Seeing the blush on his face, Yi Junlin teasingly remarked with a relaxed tone, "Satisfied? Of course. Xiao Hong, tell me, what's on your mind? Should I feel sorry for you?" Hong Tianai clenched his teeth in fury, thinking, "Damn it. If I take out my trump card, it'd be enough to scare you to death. Keep bragging for a few more days. I'll endure this for now, **. Suddenly, a notification sound came from the ring in Yi Junlin's hand. He murmured, "Oh, a message from the sect leader." A voice from the ring said, "Junior brother Yi, return to the sect as soon as possible to discuss countermeasures. Recently, something major has happened in the wasteland region. An ancient secret realm is suspected to be on the verge of opening. If Xiantian's sect can gain something from it, we will undoubtedly become even stronger." He asked in confusion, "An ancient secret realm?" Hong Tianai explained, "An ancient secret realm is a treasure trove of cultivation resources, capable of changing an ordinary cultivator's fate, like a carp leaping over the dragon gate to ascend the path of immortality. I never expected such a place to exist in this barren wasteland region." He smiled thoughtfully, **. News of this secret realm can't be kept hidden. When the time comes, chaos will surely erupt. But this is also my chance, if I can seize a great opportunity there, combined with the power of the three heavens flame garment, my cultivation will skyrocket, **. Just then, the system suddenly issued a quest notification, ***, new login quest, if the player successfully logs into the ancient secret realm Latian, they will receive an unexpected reward, ***. Excited, he asked, "Unexpected? System, hurry up and tell me what the reward is." The system chuckled coldly, "If I tell you, it wouldn't be a surprise." He stood up and urged, "Disciple, pack up. We're going to meet the false emperor and then return to Xiantian's sect." Hong Tianai softly responded, "Understood, master." In the Great Wei Imperial Palace, the emperor was discussing state affairs with his civil and military officials. Yi Junlin and his disciples stood before the emperor. After hearing Yi Junlin explain the upcoming plan, Princess Linger looked at her father with concern and said, "Father, I feel reluctant to leave you. Why don't I stay here with you?" The emperor immediately objected. "No. You have already been accepted into Xiantian's sect. This is an extraordinary opportunity, one that countless people dream of but can never obtain. You must cherish it and not waste your future." Then, he stood up, cupped his hands, and said to Yi Junlin, "Immortal, I will remember your teachings and govern my people well. I will strive to be a good emperor. I hope you can take care of my daughter." Yi Junlin sincerely replied, "She has her own destiny. Now that she has joined Xiantian's sect, she will not be mistreated. However, how far she can go depends on her own efforts." After speaking, he waved his hand at the princess and said, "Let's go, Linger. We're leaving." The emperor called out loudly, respectfully sending off the immortal. The princess turned back with tears in her eyes and said, "Father, I will come back to visit you when I have time." Inside the martial transformation hall of the inheritance pavilion, two figures stood there. The person sitting in the chair broke the silence. "Recently, many things have happened in the wasteland region. I heard that an ancient secret realm is about to open. Also, your father's Wind Thunder sect has been annihilated. It was done by Shantian sect's Wind Lord, Misty Wind." Someone below asked in confusion, "What is this person's cultivation level?" The person in the chair replied, "I heard that aside from the outside world, he is the newly ascended nascent soul cultivator of the wasteland region." That person said coldly, "Nascent soul? Humph, killing a nascent soul cultivator is as easy as killing a chicken for me." The scene shifts to the eastern region, within the inheritance hall of the martial transformation sect. Qin Xiao asked Elder Yang, "Master, who killed Elder Mu?" Elder Yang replied coldly, "It is still unclear. But all evidence points to Shantian sect. The question is, how could such a small sect possibly kill Elder Mu?" He thought to himself, with just the Wind Lord Misty Wind's nascent realm cultivation, how could it be possible, Qin Xiao speculated in confusion, if that's the case, then the true culprit might be someone else. Filled with hatred, he declared firmly, "But no matter what, Shantian sect must be destroyed. That Wind Lord Misty Wind, who killed my father, must die as well." Elder Yang took the opportunity to suggest, coincidentally, an ancient secret realm has appeared in the wasteland region this time. The sect will send some elders to accompany you. He reminded Qin Xiao, "Remember, you represent the martial transformation sect. At that time, you will be competing with other major forces." Continuing to manipulate Qin Xiao's thoughts, Elder Yang said, "As for revenge, handle it after completing your mission. I hope you can prioritize things properly. Do you understand?" Qin Xiao replied without hesitation, "Disciple obeys." Upon receiving the order, he immediately turned and left. At that moment, Elder Yang revealed his true face, displaying a sinister smile. Holding a jade stone in his hand, he calculated in his mind, "Disciple. You must continue to perform well. Only if you win resources from the competitions among the great sects can I ensure my breakthrough to the Grand Ascension stage and reach the Tribulation stage. When that happens, we will rise together, In the Kunlun realm, soul transformation cultivators are called Divine Lords, body integration cultivators are called Heavenly Lords, and Grand Ascension cultivators are called Venerables or Supremes. As for the Tribulation stage, it is called the Void Immortal. Anyone at this stage carries the title of Immortal and possesses the strength of a supreme ruler. In the Wasteland region, such a level is almost non-existent. But with the appearance of an ancient secret realm, the eastern region has suddenly gained worldwide attention, A young man in green robes cursed discontentedly, "Damn luck. Fortunately, the cultivators of the wasteland region are poor and weak. How could such an immortal opportunity fall into their hands?" The person next to him sneered and agreed, "Isn't the wasteland region the most barren and backward land? And yet, an immortal opportunity has appeared." The man between them said, "We better hurry over. Once the martial transformation sect arrives, we won't even get a sip of the soup." The scene shifts to the eastern region, amidst towering mountains. Outside the wasteland region, in the heavenly secret realm, countless people had gathered. The atmosphere was tense, as if a great battle was about to break out. At that moment, a white-haired sect leader said worriedly, "Now that this secret realm has emerged, 4 of the 5 great sects have already arrived. Only Shantian sect is absent. Have they given up?" Someone beside him said, "Not necessarily. After annexing the Wind Thunder sect, they might be aiming for the highest position among the 5 great sections. The ancestor of Banshan's sect, Ouyang Feng, who had reached the soul transformation stage, laughed loudly. Huh. I have been in seclusion for a long time. Xiantian's sect was once at the bottom, how could they possibly attract the attention of Banshan's sect? Someone nearby exclaimed in shock, what? Soul transformation stage? The white-haired sect leader thought. To himself, I had assumed that Xiantian's sect having just 2 nascent soul cultivators was already an impressive feat, but to think that the wasteland region actually has a soul transformation cultivator, asterisk. Everyone present respectfully bowed to Ouyang Feng and said, we respectfully welcome the ancestors' return. Feeling proud, he declared, I never expected to exit seclusion just in time for the emergence of an ancient secret realm. It seems this is fate. Ouyang Feng arrogantly asked, Banshan sect will be the first to enter this secret realm, does anyone object? The white-haired sect leader pondered, Ouyang Feng has already reached the soul transformation stage. Today, he is undoubtedly the strongest in the wasteland region. So, everyone responded in unison, we are willing to follow the Divine Lord's decree. The crowd behind Ouyang Feng cheered, a soul transformation cultivator has emerged, who dares to challenge his authority? Long live the sect leader. Ouyang Feng laughed triumphantly, good. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, the sky was engulfed in a raging storm, with lightning flashing and thunder rumbling. A massive ship appeared, and a voice from the ship rang out, the Tianwu Holy Temple is here. Natives of the wild continent, get out of the way. Another voice responded from the ship, the Mist Shadow sect is here. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Another person added, the ancient secret realm belongs to our Huangji sect. No one should even think about competing for it. The man riding a demonic beast sat on a high seat, he was none other than the king of the south from the Shantian dynasty, at the late stage of the nascent soul realm. He widened his eyes in surprise and asked, oh. There's actually a nascent soul cultivator in the wild continent. Over here, an old man was sweating profusely, his eyes wide like bronze bells, as he spoke disdainfully, nascent soul. Damn. I have hundreds of them here. I went through immense hardships to break through to the nascent soul realm and have been famous in the wild continent for over a decade. And yet, in the outside world, the wild continent is considered insignificant. Ouyang Feng arrogantly walked up to them. Fellow Taoists, I am Ouyang Feng, the patriarch of the Banshan sect. You may call me Xiao Feng. Suddenly, one of them pointed at him and sneered, an old fool who doesn't know shame still dares to associate with us. Get lost and wait down there. There's no place for you here. Someone nearby smirked and added, a native of the wild continent, even if you break through to the nascent soul realm, you're nothing more than a joke. And you actually think you can stand on equal footing with us? Old man, get down now and stop being an eyesore. The old man couldn't take it anymore and spoke up in defense, fellow Taoists, the wild continent is an extremely harsh place. The beings here are not lowly. Since we are all nascent soul cultivators, why should I obediently let you trample over me? He glared at the group, thinking to himself, my disciples are all waiting for me. If I avoid the confrontation this time and act cowardly, what will be left of my reputation in the wild continent? Then, he gripped his weapon tightly in rage and roared, the wild continent may be poor, but we are not afraid to fight. If anyone refuses to accept this, step forward and show me. They were not kind people either and did not take him seriously at all. They threatened, arrogant old man, you're seeking death. Someone behind shouted, everyone, attack together. Kill this old dog. The king of the south quickly intervened, everyone, hold on. He pointed at the old man and mocked, this old guy is just a minor cultivator from the wild continent. If we all attack him together and word gets out, wouldn't that be laughable? He calculated sinisterly, how about this? My strength is a bit lacking, so I'll suppress him with one hand. Since you're so arrogant and reckless, I'll show you just how vast the gap between us is. The battle began. The old man fiercely blocked his attack with his sword and shouted with boiling blood, "Kill!" Their immense powers clashed, creating a shockwave that shook heaven and earth. The two were evenly matched, locked in. A stalemate. At that moment, the King of the South's expression changed. "Oh. Old man, it seems I underestimated you." The fight continued, and the old man seized the opportunity to provoke him. "Since that's the case, let's keep going." The King of the South, enraged, unleashed a powerful aura that instantly suppressed his opponent. He exerted all his strength, striking down at the old man from above while shouting, "You old fool who doesn't know your place. I will kill you." A deafening explosion rang out. This strike left no room for escape. The old man was struck to pieces, spitting out fresh blood. He trembled, unable to fight back, and cursed in rage, "You go back on your word. You're nothing but a treacherous scoundrel. You disgrace the eastern region." Using his last ounce of strength, he continued, "Dying for honor is nothing. I only have one thing to say, cultivators of the wild continent will not be humiliated." The King of the South showed no mercy, eagerly raising his giant hammer and charging at him. "Then I'll grant you your wish." Just then, a dazzling golden lotus suddenly appeared. "Amitabha! Why is it so lively today?" The crowd below exclaimed in shock, "That's Master Jingchan from the Buddhist continent." Behind him stood Chang Tianyi, the young master of the Chang family, hailed as the top genius of the Ling continent's #1 cultivation family. Master Jingchan had a kind smile on his face as he stood atop countless golden lotuses and softly chanted, "Amitabha." Old Seventh Lord widened his eyes in horror, realizing, the oppressive aura is terrifying. They have already reached the integration realm. This matter. Looking at the massive ship overhead, he thought, the wasteland continent stands no chance of victory. Everyone was in a panic. Even Qingzhou's Wuhua sect has arrived. This time, the strongest sects of the eastern continent are all here. My God! At this moment, Chen Zhao's group appeared, causing an even greater stir among the crowd. Some people said, "That is the holy son of Wuhua sect, Chen Zhao. I heard he possesses the solar immortal body and is invincible at the same realm." Another person added, "That's right, without a doubt, he is the future shining star of the eastern continent. In 10,000 years, it will be his legend that is told." People from the wasteland continent looked up and asked, "Isn't Chen Zhao the young sect master of the Wind and Thunder sect? Is he from our wasteland continent?" Hearing this, his expression suddenly darkened, and he thought with disdain, "The wasteland continent. That's the place where I was discriminated against when I first joined Wuhua sect. Just thinking about it disgusts me." Someone nearby couldn't hold back any longer and struck out while loudly threatening, "The holy son of our Wuhua sect is not someone you ants from the wasteland continent can discuss." He scolded, "No manners. So noisy. Just die." A streak of green light shot toward the wasteland continent crowd, making them pale with fear as they frantically fled in all directions. King Zhen Nan, accustomed to flattery, stepped forward to report, "Holy Sun Chen, these ghost cultivators and beggars from the wasteland continent should be left to me. No need to dirty your hands." Chen Xiao coldly replied, "Do as you wish." At this moment, Su Yonian and his group had arrived. He confidently said, as expected, with the emergence of this secret realm, that old dog Chen's son was bound to show up. Luckily, Shintian's sect hasn't arrived yet. Zhao Dezhu, standing beside him, suggested, "Sect master, while they're fighting over the secret realm, we should hurry and leave the wasteland continent to lay low for a while." Su Tian Snow, timid as a rabbit, urged, "We should see what junior brother Yi wants to do. He is Shantian sect's hope. But, Master, where is junior brother Yi? Suddenly, Su Yonyan looked up in shock and said, wait a moment. That's junior brother Yi. They've already gone over. He said worriedly, Chen Shao is here, going over is as good as seeking death. Old Seventh Lord earnestly warned him, kid, Shantian sect must not act recklessly. Yi Junlin turned back to look at him, puzzled. Under Yi Junlin's overwhelming presence, even old Seventh Lord felt intimidated and stammered, don't come any closer. Yi Junlin's face turned grim as he gritted his teeth and cursed, damn it. How dare these outsiders trample on us? Standing among tens of thousands, Yi Junlin declared, the wasteland continent cannot do without me. No one is allowed to move. Every single person must stand still and shut the hell up. Chen Shao glared at him viciously and asked, who are you? State your name. Yi Junlin's eyes turned blood-red as he coldly responded, I am your father, Yi Junlin. The crowd buzzed with discussion, Yi Junlin. Isn't he the peak lord of Floating Peak? Another person questioned, but isn't he only at the nascent soul stage? Is he just going to his death? Hearing the crucial information in those words, Chen Zhao's face changed in shock, then his eyes flared with rage as he silently repeated, Shantian sect. Yi Junlin. Seeing the murderous aura radiating from Chen Shao, Yi Junlin scratched his nose and smirked, asking, why so agitated? Do you have something to say? Chen Shao gritted his teeth and asked, did you kill the Wind and Thunder sect master? Hearing this, he replied, oh. You mean that fool? I remember now. That old man said his son had the potential to become an immortal. Tell me, are you his son? Chen Shao cut him off, a flash of light flickering in his eyes as he gritted his teeth and said, I am his son. Yi Junlin was stunned, pointing at him in amazement. My God, so you're that fool's son. Hearing his father's killer speak so nonchalantly, Chen Shao erupted with killing intent, furiously roaring, you. Yi Junlin. I'll kill you. The followers, thinking the opponent was just a minor figure, stepped forward to stop him. Holy Sun Chen, let me capture this reckless fool and hand him over to you. That person raised a sharp spike and said contemptuously, kid, how dare you disrespect the Holy Sun? Now you must suffer. However, just as the spike was lifted but had yet to strike, Hong Tianxua descended from the sky. Someone on the other side teased upon seeing a beauty, oh. Where did this beauty come from? Hong Tianxua hated being called a beauty the most. He immediately waved his hand, unleashing flames toward the opponent and shouted, die. Blazing Void Lotus. The man stared seriously at the raging flames rushing toward him. Even though he released his aura in an attempt to resist, it was like salt dissolving into the sea. His body, as fragile as paper, was licked by the flames, eventually catching fire as his life force was gradually drained away. Everyone stared in horror at the scene before them, whispering among themselves, did a nascent soul cultivator just die like that? Ouyang Feng couldn't help but exclaim, since when did the wasteland continent have such a powerful anomaly? He sighed. Inwardly, I always thought I was the strongest in the wasteland continent, but there's always someone better out there. After dealing with the man, Hong Tianxua turned to Yi Junlin, cupped his hands, and said respectfully, Master. Seeing this, Ouyang Feng was even more shocked, that senior is actually Peak Lord Ye's disciple. Damn it, who was it that said? Peak Lord Yi had only just reached the nascent soul stage. A nascent soul cultivator taking in a divine transformation disciple. Stand up, I promise I won't beat you to death. Then he muttered to himself, Shantian sect, is actually this powerful. The people around Yi Junlin still seemed terrified and hurriedly warned, Junior brother Yi. Do you know what you're doing? That's Wuhua sect. Run. We'll buy you some time. Another person echoed, yeah. As long As Xiantian sect has you, we have a chance to turn things around. You absolutely cannot fall here. However, Yi Junlin remained indifferent. He reassured them, senior brother, don't worry. I'm fine. Let me introduce you to my disciple. Zhao Linger, seeing her master's gesture, excitedly stepped forward and greeted. Zhao Linger greets the seniors. Yi Junlin then explained his disciple's background. After resolving the false kingdom issue, I took in a new talent. She possesses a supreme water spiritual root and is also the daughter of the false emperor. I believe she would be well suited for Tianxiang Peak. Then, Zhao Linger turned to a girl in red and respectfully bowed. Disciple Zhao Linger greets master. Seeing this, the girl felt pleased and inwardly praised. This little girl is quite clever. Seeing everyone casually exchanging greetings, Chen Xiao furiously shouted, don't ignore me. Yi Junlin and everyone from Xiantian sect must pay for my father's death. His entire body emitted black mist as he spoke gloomily. Yi Junlin, come and face your death. Yi Junlin sneered after hearing this, fighting you? You're not even qualified. Then he commanded his disciple, Xiao Hong. Go up and teach him how to behave. Hearing this, Hong Tianxua gritted his teeth angrily, snorting coldly in his heart, Why does this feel like sending a dog to fight? Despite his anger, he didn't hesitate and flew out, flames erupting wherever he passed. Seeing that he didn't engage directly, Chen Xiao burst into laughter mockingly, ha. Scholar! You don't even dare to face me yourself. Hong Tianxua frowned in disdain and replied, dealing with you doesn't require my master to act. Suddenly, a flicker of surprise flashed through Chen Zhao's eyes. As he examined Hong Tianxua more closely, he spoke in a tempting tone, trying to sow discord. With your strength and appearance, why waste your life in a minor sect? If you surrender, I guarantee that Wuhua sect will treat you with the utmost respect. Hong Tianxua had no interest in such an offer and rejected it outright, not interested. Chen Xiao continued to persuade, Miss, are you really not going to reconsider? At this moment, Hong Tianxua sneered, my master was right. Your father was a fool, and so are you. Mocked by his opponent, Chen Xiao no longer held back and said coldly, all right, if you refuse the toast, you'll drink the punishment. With that, he gathered spiritual energy in his palm, gritting his teeth as he said, die. The spiritual energy grew larger, spinning into a giant dragon, its brilliant radiance surging toward the opponent. As the dragon opened its mouth and lunged forward, Hong Tianxua also raised his hand, releasing flames while casting his technique, Meteor Flame. The two forces clashed, producing a deafening explosion. The golden dragon gradually dissipated, while Hong Tianxua remained completely unharmed, not even a strand of hair was damaged. Chen Xiao was shocked and blurted out, oh. You destroyed my technique so effortlessly. Hong Tianxua lightly uttered 3 words, each carrying significant weight, just that simple. However, Chen Xiao did not back down. He had prepared another move and said smugly, don't celebrate too soon. This is just the beginning. Then, he looked up at the sky, his entire body erupting with dazzling light. Countless punches rained down on his opponent. This was the legendary solar god fist. The elder accompanying him stroked his beard with satisfaction and said, as expected, the holy sun is truly gifted. This solar god fist is a top-tier heaven-rank technique, combined with the solar immortal physique. Even a soul transformation cultivator, let alone a body integration cultivator, would surely be defeated. Chen Xiao didn't want to waste any more time. He unleashed a punch that could shake the heavens and shouted. Humph! You forced me to do this. A massive explosion followed, sending dust and debris flying. Oh Yang! Feng and the others were so shocked by the scene that they didn't even dare to breathe too loudly. Chen Xiao looked on triumphantly, the corners of his thin lips curving into a victorious smile. However, as the dust gradually settled, Hong Tianxua remained unscathed, far from the miserable state everyone had anticipated. He stood with his arms crossed atop a massive red lotus, looking completely at ease. A flicker of fire flashed in Chen Zhao's eyes. He couldn't believe what he was seeing and muttered, "This is impossible." Anger surged through his entire body. Unwilling to accept defeat, he shouted, "I don't believe it. I have the potential to become an immortal. I am invincible within my realm." He then charged at Hong Tianxua again, sneering coldly, "Humph. A frog in a well, full of resentment, seeking revenge. All the humiliation I suffered from Yi Junlin, I will take it out on you. I will show you what true disgrace is." Yet, every one of his attacks was effortlessly neutralized by Hong Tianxua, as if she had anticipated his every move. With a single palm strike, she sent him flying. As Chen Zhao tumbled through the air, only one thought filled his mind: she deflected my technique so easily. My punch felt like it hit cotton, completely ineffective. Could it be that I'm truly inferior to her? He steadied himself, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and couldn't help but ask, this level of reaction and combat experience. I've never seen anything like this in Wuhua sect. How could a small sect like Xiantian sect have a disciple like her? Hong Tianxua seized the opportunity to mock him again, "Because you're too weak. Trash." Seeing him gradually lose his fighting spirit, the accompanying elder urgently reminded him, "Holy son, don't doubt yourself. You were chosen from among thousands, you are a supreme genius destined for immortality." At that moment, Chen Zhao seemed to come to a sudden realization and murmured, "I am destined for immortality." He then released a golden sphere of energy from his dantian, radiating brilliant light that enveloped his entire body. Looking up, he roared, "I haven't lost yet. Solar Saint Physique, activate." Waves of spiritual energy converged like a raging storm, surging toward Hong Tianxua. This was the legendary solar eclipse divine art and initial sovereign-level technique. Chen Zhao shouted, "Die." Hong Tianxua was not slow to react. He gathered his crimson spiritual energy around his body. He scoffed, "Pathetic. Let me show you what true." With a gleam in his eyes, his thin lips slowly uttered 4 words, "Invincible in my realm." A powerful force erupted from the blazing flames. "It's time for you to understand the gap between us," he said as he unleashed a dazzling, multicolored technique. The collision of the two forces created an intense shockwave, as if tearing the sky in half. His face was filled with astonishment. Is this kind of power really something only a soul transformation cultivator can possess? Ouyang Feng was dumbfounded. This level of power could probably kill a body integration expert. Who will win in the end? A scarred figure, engulfed in flames, plummeted rapidly from the burning sky. The bare-bodied Chen Zhao looked shocked and dazed, as if he had lost his soul. The crowd below erupted in discussion. Is that the holy son of Wuhua sect? So that's how it is. Wuhua sect has lost. Amid the billowing smoke, Hong Tianxua slowly emerged. Floating in midair, he leisurely observed the scene, sneering with contempt. Does a firefly dare to compete with the bright moon? Another elder spoke up, "Junior brother Tianxua. Your disciple is indeed strong. Although we have defeated Chen Zhao, Wuhua sect still has many elders. You all should leave quickly. Don't worry, everything will be fine." Di Junlin cheerfully shouted, "Xiao Hong. Not bad. Make me dinner again tonight." Hong Tianxua swiftly approached and respectfully pressed his palms together. "Thank you, master." Nearby, a Wuhua sect elder hurriedly flew over to catch the falling Chen Zhao. At this moment, Chen Zhao's spirit could no longer remain stable. The blow of defeat was too much. He kept repeating in despair, "I lost. I lost." Elder Yen beside him tried to comfort him, "Holy son, stand up quickly." Chen Zhao trembled slightly, struggling to Say, Elder Yen. I lost. I'm not invincible in my realm. I've disgraced Wuhua sect. His heart was filled with anxiety. I never expected the Holy Sun to be injured. If this continues, Wuhua sect's prestige will suffer greatly. The moment Chen Xiao landed, he fell to his knees. Elder Yen gently reassured him, Holy Sun. You don't have to blame yourself too much. You still have a bright future ahead, and you still have the potential to become an immortal. In his heart, he thought. We must stabilize the Holy Sun's Tao heart. Those barbarians must be eradicated to restore Wuhua sect's honor, asterisk. He roared in fury, they dared to harm the Holy Sun of Wuhua sect. There must be an explanation for this. Who is willing to exterminate these barbarians? A towering elder stepped forward from the group, his sharp gaze exuding immense power. He stood firm and declared, let me do it. The opposing side was also shocked by his aura. Wuhua sect's foundation is indeed deep. This time, they actually brought 9 body integration experts. Even though that girl defeated the Holy Sun, she is still only at the soul transformation stage. If she faces a body integration cultivator, it's like a grasshopper trying to stop a chariot. Wasting such talent, what a pity. The towering elder from Wuhua sect shot forward like an arrow toward Di Junlin, emanating terrifying power. Hong Tianxua panicked, fearing that Di Junlin would be harmed, and shouted, Master. However, Di Junlin remained as steady as a mountain, expressionless and unmoved, as he calmly said, it's fine, Xiao Hong. Leave it to me. The observing elders analyzed the situation. Is Sect Master Di of Tianxian sect already at the body integration stage? A heavenly general appearing in the wild continent, this is unprecedented. He laughed loudly, I thought Sect Master Di's disciple was already strong enough to defeat me, but I never expected him to be a heavenly general. And there are still people claiming to be the strongest in the wild continent. What a joke. A Wuhua sect elder raised his hand and cast a technique, forming an energy sphere. Body integration stage. So what? Do you think you can fight me? He unleashed an overwhelming force, manifesting a massive hand to capture his prey. Disrespecting the Holy Sun? Die for it. Di Junlin casually lifted a finger and lightly tapped. Instantly, the massive hand shattered into countless specks of light. He asked quietly, oh. Is that so? The Wuhua sect elder's eyes widened in terror, a sense of foreboding surging through him. But before he could react, Di Junlin had already appeared in front of him, smiling as he said, hello. His attack was unbelievably fast. In the blink of an eye, Di Junlin closed in on his opponent and delivered a fatal blow. He turned around and withdrew the raging flames, as fierce as tidal waves. Is that all? He thought. I never expected that. After binding with the supreme will, my body's strength would become powerful enough to crush enemies of the same realm. The elder shouted angrily, all disciples, come forth. Kill him for me. As soon as he finished speaking, the other elders immediately took action. All of them were body integration experts, the same realm as Di Junlin. They simultaneously unleashed the Human King Seal, swiftly surrounding Di Junlin in an attempt to eliminate him. But suddenly, behind him, a massive, imposing phantom appeared. Di Junlin raised his gigantic arm and struck fiercely at the body integration elders. With a thunderous boom, debris flew everywhere, creating utter chaos. The shockwave from the energy explosion injured the elders, and many coughed up blood, unable to withstand it. Someone coughed in terror. What level of divine ability is this? This man's strength is terrifying. Everyone, use your artifacts to suppress him. Hearing this, an elder roared, kill, as he unleashed the Bo sword technique. A frosty blue sword slowly materialized, followed by the other elders executing their own techniques, all with a single goal, to counterattack and eliminate Di Junlin. In the sky where Di Junlin stood, a heavy, ominous aura began to gather, growing stronger and stronger. Master Jingchan of Xiankong's sect looked worried, pressed his palms together, and chanted, Amitabha, how merciful. How merciful. This benefactor may not escape his fate. Witnessing this scene, the young master of the Xian family curled his lips into a disdainful sneer. That old fox is truly hypocritical. He appears benevolent, but secretly commits the most despicable deeds. Even I despise him. But it's better for everyone if this monster dies sooner rather than later. Yun Yan and his fellow disciples cried out anxiously, oh no. Junior brother Di is in danger. I told you we should have left earlier. Now it's too late to escape. Beside them, Hong Tianxua said coldly, you know nothing. She furrowed her brows, staring intently at Di Junlin, thinking to herself, I personally witnessed this man's extraordinary abilities. In the false nation. He must have another move hidden. Let me see what else he's concealing. Just as Hong Tianxua suspected. He stood tall, absorbing the powerful aura around him. A confident glint flashed in his eyes. Since that's the case, let me show you this move. A spark of lightning flickered in Di Junlin's eyes. He raised his hand high, releasing a surge of electricity, forming an electric sphere. Supreme bone of the Grand Unified Sect. As he circulated his boiling mana, waves of spiritual energy gathered together, suddenly erupting into a brilliant holy light, illuminating the entire sky. Countless cultivators trembled, their faces filled with terror. What is happening? What kind of power is this? The radiance erupting from Di Junlin transformed into a massive beam of light, shooting straight to the ground like a towering pillar. Energy ripples spread outward, lighting up the entire space. The sheer oppressive power descended once again upon the elders below. They struggled to stand under the overwhelming force. Damn it! Elder Yen, hurry and save us. He desperately activated his cultivation technique to resist, muttering to himself, I didn't expect this man to be such a problem. The Holy Sun is already gravely injured. If another elder dies within the sect, how will I explain this to the higher-ups? He soared into the sky. A cultivator recognized his technique and shouted with joy, amazing. That's Elder Yan's Tier 3 spiritual artifact, the Talisman Tower. This is Elder Yan's strongest weapon after his promotion to Grand Elder. We're saved. Holding the Talisman Tower, Elder Yan radiated a green aura, his most powerful weapon against Di Junlin. He leaped behind Di Junlin and roared, this is the end for you. Die. Di Junlin cast a cold glance at him and sneered, heh, perfect timing. I've been waiting for you. Suddenly, a voice echoed as a system panel appeared within the sea of flames, displaying a notification, detected host under attack by an enemy at the peak of the body integration realm. Passive effect activated, power increases when facing strong enemies. Achieved body integration perfection. Di Junlin suddenly released a powerful aura, while Elder Yan's energy rapidly closed in on him from above. His cultivation, originally at mid-stage body integration, instantly broke through. At the same time, Elder Yan, wielding the Talisman Tower, was drawing closer. Shocked by the sudden breakthrough, Elder Yan screamed in horror, you were hiding your true cultivation level. Di Junlin unleashed a massive surge of spiritual energy, attacking him head-on, completely shattering the Elder's stubborn resistance. Elder Yan narrowly escaped death but was covered in wounds. Senior, we admit defeat in today's battle. Wuhua sect is willing to withdraw from the competition for the secret realm. Di Junlin burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, you think you can come and go as you please? Die for me. He sneered coldly, unleashing an overwhelming aura before striking at him with a powerful palm. Elder Yan felt a splitting headache and roared angrily, such ruthless actions. Are you not afraid of offending Master Wen of Wuhua sect? At that moment, something seemed to come to his mind, and his face turned pale. Wait. I remember now. Elder Mu's outer sect disciple, he was killed by you. Di Junlin confirmed the truth. It doesn't matter. I've already offended them, so why not kill a few more to make things even livelier? As soon as he finished speaking, he launched a spiritual attack at Elder Yen. Weakened and breathless, Elder Yen could only roar in fury.